Hello, hello. My name is Liz Ashley and welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to be talking about Trump being a troll online and him going after HAKEEM Jeffries and Chuck Schumer and, of course, the government shutdown. And then we're also going to talk about the AI data center in St. Louis, just because there has a lot that has been going on with that, and I wanted to talk about it. And then we're also going to talk about, I'm trying to think, what else are we going to talk about? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. There's so much stuff that I want to go over. But before we get into that, please like and subscribe, turn on post notifications, all the things. And yeah, let's get into it. So today, just to get into some headlines first, let me bring up all my stuff. I'm running late per usual. I was listening to actually the community. It was basically like a community meeting, and they were talking about the data center, and everyone was giving their comments. And so I was listening to that. And yeah, I emailed my comments in, but we'll see. So we'll see what happens, but we'll talk about that later. First, let's talk about, so Jane Goodall passed away today, which is really sad because I really love Jane Goodall, which sucks because today is like the first day of October and I'm really happy it's October. Like, honestly, everything sucks, but at least October is here. At least spooky season is here. So very excited, but very sad that Jane Goodall passed away today. I believe she was 91, and so she lived a really long and great life. One of the quotes that I like of hers that I wanted just to mention is what you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. And I really like that because I feel like things they suck right now, right? And I feel like things really suck. And so trying to listen to people who have been doing this for a while, have been activists for a while, organizers for a while, people who just stand up for what they believe in, who've done it for a while. I think listening to them or maybe researching them more has been helpful. I was watching, I think I mentioned this in my last stream, but I was watching the trial on the Chicago 7, and that's such a good movie. I really enjoyed that movie. And then I watched Judas and the Messiah after that, and that movie made me so mad. And so now I'm listening to a lot of Fred Hampton speeches and stuff like that. And so Abby Hoffman speeches, I want to buy his book, steal this book. And that's been helping me just not be so in despair or black-pilled, I guess. So it's really sad that she passed away, but she was such a great person. And she really fought for, I loved her, and I loved how much she loved animals because I love animals. And so I just love her. So I wanted to talk about that. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the government shutdown because that's what's going on today. It happened last night at midnight, and we're going to get into that and how Donald Trump is reacting to all of this and what the Republicans are saying and then what the Democrats are saying. Of course, Donald Trump is psychotic. And of course, the way Donald Trump is handling this is psychotic because of course it is. And so let's get into that because shit is so insane. So the government, like I said, the government shut down at 12 last night, midnight last night. But before it shut down, Donald Trump and HAKEEM Jeffries and Chuck Schumer had a meeting. And it's been, for a while now, everyone's like, oh, is there going to be a shutdown? Is there going to be a shutdown? And we didn't know, right? Because the last time this happened, I forgot what month it was, but it was a couple months ago. The last time that this happened, they literally, Chuck Schumer folded and decided that he was going to vote for this continuing resolution of the budget. And what happened in that big, beautiful bill budget thing is it took out a lot of money for Medicare and Medicaid. And it took out a lot, and it's cutting a lot of that funding. And that is going to be detrimental for, like, especially rural areas or urban areas. It's detrimental, well, especially rural areas, because it's harder to get care out there. And so that is being taken away in this big, beautiful bill. And so they let it get taken away. Like, well, not HAKEEM Jeffries. The Congress did not vote for it. They stood strong, but the Senate ultimately passed the big, beautiful bill or whatever. And so they were talking about maybe having a government shutdown months ago, but then the Democrats caved. Chuck Schumer caved. And now they need to sign I believe it's another continuing resolution. And they didn't pass it. They didn't pass it because Chuck Schumer, for once, did not cave. Now, in this meeting beforehand, they were supposed to negotiate to try to keep the government open. And for weeks, they had been trying to get a meeting with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump would not give them a meeting. And they had this meeting. And Chuck Schumer at the press conference was like, well, I think we might have gotten through to him. Obviously, they didn't. They didn't get through to him. But they were like, I think we might have gotten through to him. I told him this story about this mother who has a child who has cancer, and she's really worried. And, we need to make sure that we keep that funding in the bill. Well, they did not get through to him whatsoever. Actually, quite the opposite. I don't think he cares at all. I think it's silly that Chuck Schumer would have thought that he cared. So I don't think he cares at all. But I digress. So after this meeting, Trump decided to post on Twitter, and the White House posted this too, this AI generated video. Now, we're going to watch that video. It is extremely racist. It is extremely crazy. This isn't the only AI video that Donald Trump has been posting. He posted an AI video about a med bed, which is like some conspiracy theory about this bed that can literally fix you of everything, can just like heal you, right? But the crazy part is he literally talked about it. Like, he literally in this AI video talks about med beds, and Donald Trump posted this as if it were real. And so he can't remember if he said that or not, which is bizarre. I think he's losing his mind, honestly, and everyone's just like letting it happen. And so everyone's just like letting it happen. But we're going to talk about this video because this thing is insane. So this is what Donald Trump posted after after they had this meeting. This is what they actually no, I think this is afterwards. There's as you can see, there are a few. Let's see. Okay, so this is the initial one. Okay, so there's an initial one. He made two. He made two AI videos about Chuck Schumer and HAKEEM Jeffries because we are living in hell. Okay, so this is what he posted after their meeting. After their meeting, where Chuck Schumer comes out, milquetoast as possible, goes, I think maybe we got to him, but it's never been like this. We've always negotiated. Like, this is unprecedented. We always negotiate. And I'm like, dude, do you know where you are? Like, sometimes I just want to like look at Chuck Schumer and just like honestly ask him, do you understand what you're dealing with? Do you know where you are? Or are you just gonna sit here and just be like, wow, everything is just, I can't believe you didn't negotiate with me? Yeah, no. Like, of course, dude. Like, what are you saying? Like, he doesn't care about your input. He doesn't care about what you want. And so this is what Donald Trump posted after they had this meeting. This is what Donald Trump posted.
There's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, at least for a while, until they learn English and they realize they hate us too. Look, guys,
Okay, what I want to know is there's no way he could have made this, right? Like, I don't think Donald Trump, maybe he is. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. Maybe they're just like, maybe that's his job for the day, his task for the day. Maybe he just sits, they gave him this AI app and he just sits like a kid and makes little AI videos in his AI app. This is insane. Like, this is insane. For me, it's just like so crazy to see this because listen, I'm not one for like civility politics. I'm not like a civility politics person, but I feel like this is just so insane. Like, this is just so insane. Like, this is so insane to the point where I'm like, when can we start talking about his mental acuity? Like, listen, I don't like Biden, and I was like, hey, no, we don't. Why is Biden running? What the hell? Biden should not be running. I don't understand how we can talk about Biden's mental acuity forever, and Donald Trump is doing the most outrageous shit. And no one wants to talk about him going crazy. No one wants to talk about him being insane. No one wants to talk about him making these AI videos. No one wants to talk about him not knowing how to pronounce words. Nothing. This is crazy. Not only is it crazy, it's racist. It's racist as hell. And of course, this is not what they said. They're talking about healthcare, but he can't say that that's what they're doing because it doesn't fit. He can't say that that's not what they're doing because then people would be like, oh, well, wait, maybe I would like that. Maybe I would want that. But he can't say that. He can't be honest. And so he's just making this crazy video. And of course, they have to talk about trans people because like they're just like vehemently going after trans people, which is terrifying. But the president is posting this, like our president is posting this, and they want to think like, and they want to be like, oh, we're a strong nation. Everyone knows we're just so strong. Between this and the Hegseth speech, I think everyone is laughing at us. I think we're the laughing stock of the whole world. I think people look at us and are like, wow, Americans are like deranged. We're deranged. I really think they think that. Okay, so this is the next one. And, okay, so he posted this. So that doesn't look real to me, him sitting in there pointing. That doesn't look real to me. But he's sitting here, and I guess he had these Trump 2028 hats out while he was talking to Chuck Schumer and HAKEEM Jeffries. Again, that's when I want to like talk to Chuck Schumer and be like, so do you not see like where we are? Do you not see what's going on? Like, do you not? Like, he's like, oh, I think we got to him. Really? Really? Do you think we did? Because it doesn't look like it. Like what? He put a Trump 28 hat in front of you and you're like, I can't believe they won't negotiate with us. He put a Trump 2028 hat on the table as he was talking to them, and he was like, I can't believe that he wouldn't negotiate with me. Yeah, like, just like, where are you? Do you know where you are? Do you understand what's happening? I don't think he does, but whatever. I don't know what this is insinuating. I have no idea what this is. I don't know what this is. I can't tell you what this is. I don't know. They mustn't have given him like this AI app or something that he's just like making this slop on. Okay, so this next video is the video that he posted after after HAKEEM Jeffries had responded to this. So this is what he posted. This is not even that long ago. Yeah. Oh, no, it was 22 hours ago. Okay, I guess I just saw it not that long ago. Okay.
It's a disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of... It's a disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault. It's a disgusting
like it's insane
video.
it's insane because it is racist. It's insanely racist. And like I just like it's insanely racist, and I don't understand why posting this is like a good idea. Also, he's talking about why they're not voting for it, right? And he's talking about healthcare, and he's talking about we're trying to do this for the American people. And Donald Trump is turning this into like a joke. And so I don't understand who people who support Donald Trump, I don't get how they can look at stuff like this and be like, oh, wow, he really cares about me and really cares about this country. Like, how do you see that? Because I don't see that. I see someone who is so unserious, who is honestly insane, and is creating just like insane shit for what? Like, what does this do? This does nothing. And I think hopefully, listen, I hope that they don't cave. I hope that they keep fighting and try to at least get something. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm hoping maybe this insane reaction, this insane AI video shit that they keep doing will make them realize that this is not normal. This is not normal times. You cannot just be like, oh, well, they didn't negotiate with me. Like, of course they didn't negotiate with you. Have you seen what they've been doing? Like, there are so many things that I could talk about today that I didn't even write down, because not only is this happening, he's also sent National Guard to like Portland now. I think he's still trying to go to Chicago. He sent like all of these ICE agents into Chicago as well, and I mean, it's just insane. Like, this is, well, no, I think he did send them to Chicago. And so there's so much going on. And our president is making AI videos on Twitter and is posting them on Twitter. And that's how he's handling very serious things, right? And I have a video of J.D. Vance reacting to this because... And I think we're going to watch PBD react to this, because I was looking this up, and like a lot of right wingers are just like, oh, he's trolling them. Haha. Like this is just so unserious. Like, I don't understand how anybody who watches their information, or how anybody does any of this, is like, wow, again, like, wow, they actually care about me. They care about me and my livelihood. They don't. And it's so obvious. The White House also posted the same video. The White House. Their social media is unhinged, like so unhinged. But the White House, so it says, every day Democrats keep the government shut down, the sombrero gets 10 times bigger. Democrats shut down. TM, because again, we live in hell. It's not a Democrat shutdown, actually. It's 1,000% on the Republicans, but this is just insane. Like, I don't even know how to explain it anymore. I'm gonna refresh this and see if he posted anything else, because he's been posting a lot. Okay, no, I didn't see it. I wanted to see what he posted on Truth. Okay, also I want to see. Okay, so this is True Social, right? Look at this ad. Okay, so this is True Social. This is Donald Trump's page. Look at this ad. It said skin tags linked to dangerous parasites. Oh my god, look at this. Oh my god, it's so stupid. Okay, I just wanted to point that out because I saw that earlier, and I was like, every time I go on True Social, I see a new, more insane like ad. Every time I go on, there's just insane ads. It's crazy. Okay, so let's see. I want to see if he posted anything funny. Okay, so he said Maxine Waters admitted that she is demanding healthcare for illegal aliens, and it's going to be top of the line, taking American taxpayers' healthcare away from them. That is not what they're doing. I don't even know what he's referencing about Maxine Waters. But we're gonna watch we're gonna watch AOC. I really believe that Jerome Too Late Powell is an obstructionist. Okay, didn't he put down the rates like he wanted? I don't understand why he's mad at him. Okay, that's boring. We're not gonna talk about that because his True Social is just so insane. Okay. While I queue up this next video, we'll look at the chat real quick. Okay. Okay, he's doing a siesta, I think is the joke. Oh, well, see, and the funny thing is, though, is there are literally, like, the Democrats are there. Like, the Democrats are still there. The Republicans literally left. Like, they left for vacation. They left for the holiday. And so, because I think it's a Jewish holiday today or tomorrow. And so they left. They left. So I'm not really sure what they're talking about. Okay. Anyway, so that is an AI parasite. Will it kill Grok? Honestly, I have so much smoke for the AI and like the data centers. Let me tell you, when we talk about that, I have so much smoke. I just I was getting so upset watching the community. It's not called a community meeting. It's called something else, but I don't know. But I was getting so mad because there was all these business people there like promoting the data center, and then some of the aldermen were like saying stuff, and I was just like, oh my god. Hey, no, you're good. So we're talking about Trump, and he has been posting AI videos of HAKEEM Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, and he keeps putting HAKEEM Jeffries in a sombrero. And they keep saying that they're going to keep posting these, and the sombrero is going to get bigger every time until the Democrats stop the shutdown, even though it's not the Democrat shutdown. It's actually the Republican shutdown. And almost every single time that there has been a shutdown, it has been because of the Republicans. And they tend to always want to shut the government down because they always want to get what they want, and they never want to budge, and they always have unrealistic expectations, which is why it's so funny that that's what they're saying about the Democrats now that they're in power, and the Democrats are not helping them vote for this bill, for the continuing resolution. And so we're gonna watch JD Vance react to being asked about that video, because a reporter asked him about the AI generated sombrero video, and JD Vance is like, oh, that's a joke. Bro. Would you take, okay, if like, I don't know, just think about any, like, would you take a country seriously if their president was posting out AI videos? Like, I'm sorry, but if a Democrat, like if the president of the United States was like, if Joe Biden, okay, or whoever, I don't even care, if they posted a video of another person in AI where they like are wearing a sombrero and are like making fun of them because the government, I don't even know, like I can't even fathom this, because the Democrats won't even do like the most like milquetoast pushback. But I just, like, if a Democrat did this, I would also think this was insane. Like, I would also think that this was cause for concern, because what are you doing? I mean, what are you doing? Okay, if Grok is dead, Elon is super cooked. Oh my gosh, okay, I can't wait to talk about the AI. I can't wait to talk about the data center, because that's something, I forgot what it was, but that's something someone said. Someone was like, this is a bubble that's going to burst eventually. So why are we doing this right now? And yeah, anyway. Water menace of... I would never go on True Social without an ad blocker. Yeah, no, it's True Social is, it's a weird one. It's weird. I won't make an account. I refuse to make an account because I don't need that in my life. But I have been going on there. Okay, so let's watch this video of, we're going to watch this video of JD Vance reacting to this question. Okay. And this sounds good and everything, right? I just want to make sure I didn't test it before I got on today.
President's joking and we're having a good time. You can negotiate in good faith while also poking a little bit of fun at.
Okay, that's my other thing. They keep saying that they're negotiating in good faith. They keep saying that the Republicans are negotiating in good faith, but the Democrats are not negotiating in good faith. The president made an AI video of him wearing a sombrero. We're going to watch it in a second, but he literally is like threatening the Democrats and is like, "Oh, well, if you shut the government down, then I'm going to fire all these people." Usually they just either get like laid off or furloughed or whatever. I mean, furloughed, but they don't actually get like fired. And Donald Trump was like, "Well, I'm going to fire them. What are you going to do now, Dems?" He also put on like this alert on the government website that said like, "Oh, it's the Democrats' fault" or whatever. I went on there today and I didn't see it, so maybe that was fake news. But they are not being in good faith. What are you saying? Like, they're literally lying. They're lying and saying that the Democrats the reason that they're not voting is because they want to give this Medicare and Medicaid funds to undocumented immigrants, even though undocumented immigrants cannot qualify for those programs. They pay into them, but they do not qualify. They do not get money from them. And so they're just outright lying about what's going on. They've been lying to everyone. And so none of this is in good faith. None of this is in good faith. This is all horrible. This is all horrible. And the way the media is talking about this is actually really making me very upset because CNN, MSNBC, a lot of them, like, they're literally like, "Oh, well, they're saying it's the Schumer shutdown. What are you going to do?" Or they're like, "Well, this is just bad and we don't know whose fault it is. The Democrats are saying one thing, the Republicans are saying another. We don't know." I'm like, "No, like you do the news. You're a journalist. Look in the bill. On the majority report today, they looked at the bill. They looked at the page. I think it was like page 51, and it had literally none of it said that they wanted any of this money to go to undocumented immigrants. Just a lie. It's a lie. But they keep lying anyway. They're not in good faith. That all came from him saying, "Oh, we're negotiating in good faith." No, you're not. No, you're not.
At some of the absurdities of the Democrats' positions, and even poking some fun at the absurdity of the Democrats themselves. I mean, I'll tell HAKEEM JEFFRIES right now.
They literally didn't let that one kid in because he had a meme of JD Vance on his phone. Okay, what are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying? Jimmy Kimmel made a joke about Donald Trump, and the FCC chair threatened to take him off the air. What are we saying? What are we saying? Oh, we can make jokes. It can be fun. We can make jokes. Can we? Because it seems like you don't like when the jokes are put back on you. And none of them were this insane or ridiculous either. Like, because listen, I'm sure there might be a few people who think that might have actually been real. I don't know about the second one, but the first one, they might have actually thought that they were saying those things. So who knows?
Solemn promise to you that if you help us reopen the government, the sombrero memes will stop. And I've talked to the president of the United.
That's their leverage. Do you see how unserious this is? They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about anyone. They don't even care about their own supporters. They don't care. They don't care. They only care about the power that they get, the power that they want to yield. And so instead of coming to an actual negotiation, instead of talking about anything of substance, their leverage is saying, "We will stop the sombrero memes if you will open the government up." Just like this is so unserious, man. This is so unserious. And this is why, unfortunately, I don't want the Democrats to cave because I think that they need to show some kind of backbone here, or else they're just going to keep getting pushed over and over and over again. They're just going to keep getting just like, they're just going to keep pushing them into a corner. And so I do think that they need to show some backbone, some fight at this moment, because I do think this is like a big moment for them to prove that they can be an opposition party to fascism. I don't know if they can, and I don't know if they will, especially with HAKEEM Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, okay? And now, like CNN was saying, oh, they're calling it the Schumer shutdown, and I'm like, great. Of course that's what they're going to do, because then Chuck Schumer will cave. But I'm hoping, I don't want them to, but it's also very bad. Like it's not good to have a government shutdown. Because a lot of people will not have money. Like a lot of people don't get paid. Like there's so many places that don't get paid. Like here in St. Louis, they shut down the Arch in the national park because it's a national park, and they shut it down. And so there's a lot of people who are out of work right now, not going to get paid. And I think that the problem is that this might last a while. I think this might last a while because the Republicans are not serious and don't take the Democrats serious. And so they think that they're just going to cave eventually if they just keep poking fun at them and keep trying to embarrass them. They think that eventually they'll cave. And I think that's the whole point of this. But it's just insane. Like it's insane. And they're all just bullies trying to bully them into just trying to bully them into caving is essentially what they're doing. There's just a little bit more of this.
United States about that.
Okay. Now we're gonna watch Trump talk about something else. Okay. I would love to just join Vance and MTG. Meme is violence. Because GOP don't give a F. They don't care. Like they don't care at all. And that's the crazy part about this is like, I don't like for the life of me, I don't understand how they think, like how other people think that they actually care. Here, let's see what Trump had to say.
Imagine being able to build an app with
Okay.
We begin tonight here with the breaking news. The federal government barreling toward a shutdown set for midnight. Both parties blaming the other. President Trump tonight threatened.
So that's what I'm saying. They're like both parties blaming the other. Like this is my problem with like CNN, ABC, all these different people, because, the right wing will be like, oh my gosh, like all these places are so leftist. They're like communists, all this stuff. Right. But then you have but they're not. But they're not. And then you have Fox News, who is literally a propaganda arm of the Republican Party, and just say insane shit all day, every day, and lie all day, every day. And then you have people on ABC and CNN just being like, well, we don't know. They just keep blaming each other. Aren't you the journalist? Aren't you the one who's supposed to look at the bill and tell the truth? Like what is happening? It's so frustrating. Like watching this frustrates me to no end. I was watching some of this morning and I was just getting so frustrated. Because that's all I could think about of the Republicans just have this propaganda arm, and then everybody else, every other channel is just like, well, who knows? Who's really to say? Who's really to say whose fault this is? We don't know. Who's to say? God, it just frustrates me to no end.
Threatening to fire federal workers and to cut programs and benefits, saying he can do things that are irreversible. Tonight, Democrats say they want Medicaid cuts restored and to keep health insurance premiums from going up for millions. And Democrats say Republicans would rather shut the government down than protect the health care of the American people. Both sides tonight digging in with this shutdown now hours away, affecting millions of Americans. Rachel Scott leading us off tonight.
Tonight, with the government set to shut down at the stroke of midnight, President Trump now threatening to fire, quote, a lot of federal workers if Democrats don't back down.
We'd be laying off a lot of people that are going to be very affected.
But Democrats...
I love how, again, I love how he says that, and he's like, okay, well, we'll just take advantage of it, and we'll lay off all these people, and we'll fire all these people. And yet he's trying to blame it on the Democrats. And, I don't understand how that works, because you're deciding to fire them. No one told you to fire them. You're just firing them. And he would have done it, and they were doing it anyway without the government being shut down. The other part about this is actually really bad, is that I think it was the Supreme Court. I think recently they said that they don't even have to stick by the budget anymore. So that's the other insane part about all this, is they could sign this CR, they could do this continuing resolution, and they could pass it, and still Donald Trump doesn't have to listen. Donald Trump doesn't have to abide by it, and he can still do what he wants. And so like that's actually the most insane part about all of this, is that all these people and the government, like all these people are going to suffer, and the government is going to shut down. And by the end of it, I don't know how much it's really going to matter, because he might be able to do whatever he wants anyway. It's, you know, it's a frustrating thing. I guess we'll finish this real quick.
Holding firm, demanding that Republicans reverse cuts to Medicaid and extend expiring Obamacare subsidies to prevent insurance premiums from rising for some 20 million Americans.
They'd rather shut the government down than protect the health care of the American people. That's unfathomable.
Today, the president turning up the pressure, now warning he could slash government programs.
We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like.
He even...
Again, he's threatening cutting programs and stuff, but he's already doing that. He's already been doing that. They've already been doing that for a minute now. And also, okay, well, that's not on the Democrats. That's on you. Like, you don't have to do this. Again, you're just being a bully just to be a bully, because you hate yourself, and and now you're projecting that on everybody else. But like how can, like, I just don't understand how he can keep blaming the Democrats for all these things. It's like, you're saying you're going to do it. You don't have to do this. You want to do this, or you're using this as an excuse to do this. I think they want a government shutdown. I think all this stuff that they're saying is BS. I think they wanted this. I think it might be bad for optics, maybe, but Trump is not looking like Trump wants to be a dictator. So what does he care about polling numbers? He doesn't care. Like, he doesn't care. He's not going to have to run again. He's just going to try to be president again. Like what does he care about polling numbers? He doesn't. And so they're just going to do what they want, and they want to make these irreversible changes because because that's what they want, because they want to keep the power. That's this whole thing, is they want to keep this power. They want to concentrate it, and they want to concentrate all this power in the executive branch, and then they want to keep it within the conservative party. And that's what they're doing. That's their plan. That's what they're doing. And they're using this as a way to do it, as an excuse to do it. And they're trying to blame the Democrats and be like, well, it's because you shut it down. And if we didn't, we wouldn't have done it if you didn't shut it down, but he would have. So I think they wanted this. I think they wanted this shut down, honestly.
And floated the idea of cutting benefits without saying which ones.
We can do things medically and other ways, including benefits.
Tonight, I brought his words to Democratic Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
The president is now threatening these irreversible cuts to the workforce, to programs. Is that a risk that Democrats are willing to take?
It will fall on him, as I said. He's the one doing the firings, not Democrats.
Even without the...
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I hate Chuck Schumer, but it's true. Like, he's the one doing this. The Democrats are like, no, we want to fight for you to have benefits. And Trump's like, well, maybe I'll just cut more benefits. How do people not see that? I guess I don't think people see, listen, here's the thing. Like, I know specifically, like, from my family, is they don't, some of them watch Fox News like all the time and are more informed than others. But like, some people in my family just don't watch his press conferences, don't watch his speeches. Like, they don't watch his speeches, they don't watch his press conferences, they just see what Fox News says or whatever news says. And of course, they're always going to make him look good. but they don't watch this stuff. And so a lot of the stuff that he said or done, sometimes they don't even know about because they don't watch him like that. And so I always get frustrated because I'm like, well, I actually watch his speeches. Like, I watch his press conferences. One, he's losing his mind, okay? His mind is mush, all right? But other than that, he also just is saying crazy stuff and doing crazy things and doing all the things that you said you wanted. Like, you said you wanted him to help America, but he's like killing random people in Venezuela to start a war with them. Like, this is not America first. This is not anything that he ran on. And it's actually everything that everyone on the left said it would be. And a lot of people still don't see it. And I don't understand that.
Fear of layoffs. If the shutdown happens, as many as 4 million federal employees could go unpaid. In Thompson, Illinois, that means prison officers already stretched thin, now pushed to the max.
We need the government to stay open so that we don't have to live off our credit cards, that we don't have to take
Yeah, I was watching this thing today and this lady's like, well, hopefully people won't have to go into credit card debt and they can just use their savings. I was like, lady, what? What society do you think we are living in? Like, what are you saying? I was like, I think most people, if they have savings, it's not much, but I think most people don't have savings. I think most people are going to do, I forgot what show that was on, but I just remember listening to it and being like, wow, that sounds so out of touch. It sounds so out of touch. She was just like, well, hopefully they can dip into their savings and not use a credit card and then dip into their retirement and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Hopefully then I won't have to go into credit card debt. I'm like, what savings? Exactly. Like, they don't, like, what savings? I don't know. I've been trying. I'm like, every time I get paid, I'm like, I need to make like a high yield savings account. I need to be responsible. And then something always comes up and it never happens. Okay. I guess what we're going to finish watching this real quick. It's taking me forever to get through a 2-minute video.
multiple loans just to pay our mortgage, to pay our daily necessities.
And families of roughly 2 million service members could feel the pinch too. Jamie Billard, whose husband is in the Coast Guard, is preparing to tell her kids they'll have to scale back on things like dinners out and picture day at school.
What do we set as a priority? Your dad's not getting paid right now. That's our sole source of income. You know, I said no because there's bigger things happening here.
David, Senate Republicans forced to vote on a bill to keep the government funded, but Democrats overwhelmingly rejected it because it did not include any of their demands. So tonight, all signed.
Do you see the way that they frame that? Oh, well, all the Republicans voted for it and Democrats rejected it because they did not meet their demands. Like, talk about the substance of it. Like, this is so insane. Like, I feel like all these news stations, all these news outlets are just already like, I mean, of course they're corporate news, so they have a skewed perception of everything anyway towards Capitol. But it's also frustrating because they're not willing to talk about what's going on or like the substance of it or the truth of it. They just vaguely say what's going on and just vaguely be like, oh, well, you know, da-da-da, we don't know. The Democrats, they didn't meet all their demands. Okay, what are those demands? What were the demands? Like, why are the Republicans, like, don't they have a majority? Why aren't all the Republicans voting yes? Like, some context would be nice. And that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about because of the corporate news and because of the right-wing framing on things now. I really think that, unfortunately, eventually people might start blaming the Democrats, even though there have been polls, and right now everyone's blaming the Republicans. But unfortunately, I just think right-wing framing on things is just, it's so popular, and it's just like, so it's like permeate, whatever that word is, in our culture. And it's just like, I don't know, it's very frustrating. Yeah. All right, so okay. Trump or medbed Trump. I forgot who said it, but someone made a joke today, and it was like, if med beds were real, I think it was maybe like Seth Meyers. I watch a lot of Seth Meyers. That's what I'm saying. I do watch late night, but it's usually Seth Meyers. If Donald Trump, if med beds were real, why hasn't Donald Trump used one? Honestly, like, yeah, why hasn't Donald Trump used one? If they're real, why hasn't he used one? Why didn't Biden use one? Like, what are we saying? God, this both sides BS. Yeah, it's really annoying. Trump's mentality is don't make me hit you. Yeah. Framing is gross. Let's go back to Trump's concepts of because he can plan. Well, see, and that's the thing, like the whole framing from the mainstream news is just kind of like, oh, well, we don't know. The only person who I think Caitlin Collins pushed back in one interview, and then I know George Stephanopoulos. It's George Stephanopoulos, right? He also pushed back in one issue with the Speaker of the House, and he was like with Mike Johnson, and he was like, he said, oh, well, the Democrats want to give undocumented immigrants all these benefits and money, and he was like, that's not true, that's not in there. And well, I don't know if it was that. I wish I could remember. But he was the only one that pushed back, and so listen, this is insane. Like, this is honestly insane. And let's watch, we're gonna watch what JD Vance has to say. And then I think I want to watch, I don't know, do you all want to watch PBD react to the trolling? I thought that might be interesting to see how they reacted to the trolling, because I think the right wing is like really excited about all the trolling that Donald Trump is doing, and I just don't get it. I don't understand. I think it's really insane. But let me know if you want to watch that. First, we're going to watch this JD Vance
This
clip.
is basically Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer, he's worried he's going to get a primary challenge from AOC, and so he's shutting down the people's government to give in to sort of the left-wing coalition.
God, look at his eyes. Okay, so the I've had it ladies are always like smoky-eyed, a little smoky. For JD Vance, like, he has eyeliner on. Like, you cannot deny that he has eyeliner on. He has eyeliner on. Like, he definitely does. You can see it. Oh, no video? Oh, my dumbass. Okay, sorry. Okay, we'll start over, and then you'll see that he has eyeliner on. I'm just laughing to myself. Okay, let's start over.
This is basically Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer, he's worried he's going to get a primary challenge from AOC, and so he's shutting down the people's government.
Okay, he has eyeliner on, as you can see, and like I said, the I've had it ladies always talk about him being a little smoky-eyed sociopath, and he definitely has eyeliner on. There's like, it's kind of hilarious. He definitely has it on. There's no way he doesn't. And also, everyone's saying that Chuck Schumer is doing this because he's worried about a primary challenge from AOC. Now, I would love AOC to run for whatever she wants to run for next. Like, of course, I would support that. But I think Chuck Schumer's also doing it just because everyone has been like nobody likes him. Like, nobody likes him. Everyone has been yelling for him to step down. Everyone has been like sharing their discontent. So I do think maybe that has something to do with it, but I also think that like everyone has been like very angry with him because apparently he was showing like signs of maybe compromising or like bending the knee for a second, and then everyone was like, hey, no, don't you dare. And then he like kind of stepped back and was like, well, never mind. So I think it also has to do with like everyone just like really hates him. JD is made from a lab. Honestly, like, watching this video, and I don't know if it's just because it's so up close to his face, but like there is like no emotion behind his eyes, like at all. Like it's just so or it's just like dread. I can't really tell, but it's wild. Like, it's just very unsettling. It's unsettling to watch.
to give in to sort of the left-wing coalition in their party.
Yeah, he's like dead. He's like dead. There's no emotion.
It's craziness, and people are going to suffer because of it. I mean, people who benefit from low-income food programs are going to suffer because of this.
What? Bro, what? You guys are literally cutting it as we speak. What are you saying? What are you saying?
You're flying today. I hope, of course, you arrive safely and on time.
He's like, I hope you don't die. Oh my God, this is so insane.
But you may not arrive on time because...
I'm sorry. Well, I mean, I want you to be safe and be on time, but we can't promise that. Oh God, that was actually kind of funny. Okay.
The TSA and the air traffic controllers are not getting paid today. Our military is not getting paid today, starting today. And obviously, the longer this drags on, the worse that it is for the...
Do you know who else doesn't get paid? ICE. I learned that today. And that actually, I think that's really interesting. ICE and the National Guard, they also don't get paid. And I think that's interesting. And I think it's also interesting that they had that military meeting right before the government shutdown. I think that was also interesting because my theory is that they knew this government shutdown was coming. And so I think that they wanted to do that, like that unhinged military speech that Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth gave, and I'm going to find some clips from that, but unhinged speeches. And I think they did that, yes, as like a loyalty test. And I think it was also because, like, if this government shutdown goes for a while and ICE and National Guard and these military people and they don't get paid, then they're going to have to really believe in this ideology to stay on, right? They're going to have to really be like dedicated to this, to not like call out or quit or whatever, you know? And so they're going to have to like really be dedicated to this shit for them to fall in line while not getting paid. And so I do think that that was interesting that it happened right before the shutdown. And I do think that the loyalty is also like, okay, well, you need to be loyal if you're not getting paid too. Like, you need to also believe in this so much that you're willing to do whatever we say, even if you're not getting paid, you know? You need to be loyal no matter what the circumstances are, is I kind of think what they were trying to do, what they were trying to accomplish. But yeah. Oh yeah, the ladies from My Hat always say that about JD. Yeah, it's actually really funny. I think it's hilarious. Huck's doing all he can and he's weak and terrible. J-Dad fans, what the fuck? Insane again. Yeah, insane. He just insane. And so what was I gonna talk about next? Oh, I guess we can see what PBD said about
is traditional foundation making you
sorry, I hate all these ads. Okay.
Government's been shut down now for 9 hours and 15 minutes. Don't worry. It's going to be okay, but the government's been shut down. No one's working. By the way, apparently 100,000 people are deciding to quit. I don't know if you saw this or not, Rob, if you want to put this up. This is catastrophic news, folks. 100,000 DMV employees are quitting. Not DMV, but just government employees are quitting. Rob, if you want to put that story up, they're out there.
I'm glad someone's concerned. He sounds actually concerned. No one else seems to be concerned, but of course he's probably going to blame it on the Democrats, and that's why he's doing this big show of it.
They're angry. Over 100,000 federal workers to resign Tuesday amid looming government shutdown. And look at the phones. Look at them running around with the phones, recording with that beautiful pink umbrella while it's not even raining. Isn't that awesome? Think about how...
It's about... Oh, bro, this is very annoying. I did not pre-watch this. People use umbrellas when it's really sunny out so they don't get sunburned. But, sure, okay. Okay.
Rich you have to be to have a pink umbrella while the sky is blue and a camera walking around and you're walking away from your job. How awesome it is. That guy probably doesn't even work at the government. It's just a picture that they took, but a great angle. Nice people walking there. So here's what's going on. Let's talk about this. What
was that?
Trump.
What was that intro? What was that intro? Oh my god. God, this show's insane. Oh my god. Okay, let's try to find the part. Okay, here, they talk about it there. Okay, I was about to skip it. Okay. I was like, let's find the part where they talk about this because this is kind of unhinged. Okay.
The government shutdown meeting. You tell me, when have we ever had a government that would post a meme like this? Which, by the way, you have to be honest, HAKEEM actually looks good with that mustache. Look closely. And that,
he actually can pull it
sombrero,
off.
right?
No,
he can pull it off. What president do you know that is concerned to entertain you and mock his enemies and be as straight up as this guy here? Go ahead, Rob. Play this clip.
There's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, you know? At least for a while until they learn English and they realize they hate us too.
By the way, this is not a YouTuber that posted this.
Yeah, was it really that funny? Like, I just don't even think it's funny. Like, that's the thing is, like, it's not even... It's not like I'm like offended. I mean, I think it is racist and I think it's stupid and I think it's insane and I don't think our president should be posting an AI generated video. I think actually the thing that I think is the most problematic of all of it, I mean, of course, is racism, but also is using AI to fake what Chuck Schumer was saying, I think is also very problematic and I think is a bad thing because obviously the president can't tell the difference between a video of what he actually said and what he hasn't said, which is insane because you would think he would know if he said something or not. You think he would remember if he made a speech about med beds, but he couldn't remember that. And so if our president can't tell the difference between real and AI, then like there are probably a lot of other people who can't tell the difference either. And so I think one of the biggest problems of all of this is you have them being like, oh, nobody likes our woke BS, da 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 da. Like, there are probably going to be some people who believe that that's real. There are probably going to be some people who think that Chuck Schumer really said that. And that's the most concerning thing of all of this, I think, is just like creating fake videos of people saying things that they did not say. And then, you know, right now it's a joke, but eventually he's going to be like, this is real. Just like he thought the med bed thing was real. And he didn't even remember his own what he said on his own. This is insane. This is insane. I don't know. I just don't think it's funny and I think it's insane, but sure, hilarious.
Podcaster, not an influencer. This is the president of the United States posted that video.
Yeah, that's insane. Is that not insane?
Their minds.
Did he post the one with the mariachi band?
There's another one.
Yes.
No, did you see that one?
It was him.
He didn't stop. There's another one. Did you see the second?
Stop it.
No, it's
Rob,
even better.
I sent you the second one.
There's no way in the world.
How about this? You're going to laugh even harder because it's HAKEEM Jeffries getting pissed off saying, how dare he...
Say it to my face.
Rob, I think I slept.
You did. I got it.
Oh, Pat.
Did he create these?
This one's better. No, I think somebody
them?
makes them and sends them to him. This one is even better. This
is all because the government shut down?
Because they're playing that game.
let's
Look,
see
ready for this?
When we started Warby Parker, we just sold glasses.
Sorry.
Disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people.
This is psychotic. This is psychotic. Also, again, I want to know, like, they got offended by Jimmy Kimmel. Just like, let's just remember that all these same people got offended by Jimmy Kimmel. Let's just remember that. Just keep that one in your heads. They got offended by Jimmy Kimmel, and they're like, oh, this is hilarious. Oh my God. This is so funny. And then I love how they still want to be like, oh, we're strong men. We're strong men. And like, we're the best. And we're America. And da-da-da. Dude, do you think other people look at this and go, wow, they're a country that really has their shit together? Like, do you really think that? Do you really think that? Because I think people look at this again. I think people look at this and go, wow, those people are crazy. Who are they electing? What are they doing over there? These people are insane. I think that's what everybody else in the world thinks about America.
He's a troll. He's the ultimate troll.
They don't know what to
He's
do
the
with
president!
it. They don't know what to do with it.
That is the part about being
Because
unpredictable.
he's the president.
So, can we give the story about the government shutdown? Let's just kind of go through it right now, what's going on. So,
Because there's a reason for this angle.
Yeah, so J.D. Vance predicted that the government's going to shut down after deadly, serious Democrat demand concessions. We're headed towards a shutdown. Vance says after Trump's meeting with leaders. Is this the clip, Rob? Go ahead and play this clip.
I want to make one final point here. You will hear a lot from Senate Democrats, from House Democrats about the fact that American healthcare policy is broken. Well, we know that American healthcare policy is broken. We've been trying to fix it for the 8 months that we've been in office. But every single thing that they accuse about being broken about American healthcare is policy that Democrats have supported for the past decade. So if they want to talk about how to fix American healthcare policy, let's do it. The Speaker would love to do it. The Senate Majority Leader would love to do it.
No, they don't. And now do you know what Speaker Johnson's doing now? He's saying, well, if you just help us keep the government open, we'll talk about it later. We'll figure it out later. We'll discuss this later. We'll negotiate later. Just open the government and then we'll be fine. That's like what you tell a child, right? Like if you're just trying to get them to get over something and you're just like, okay, well, we'll talk about that tomorrow, or like we'll get it tomorrow, or we'll do this tomorrow, and then hoping they'll forget about it tomorrow. Like that's all this is. This is all this is. This is insane. This is insane. That's insane. AI gives Chuck more energy. All you've ever seen are comedians. That's exactly what they do. And my pronouns are F you with laughter. Yeah. Oh, right-wing comedians. Yeah. No, they're not great. Okay. The past decade with the 4 years of Trump that always don't count somehow. No, literally. I love how like nothing they do is ever the problem. Like they never make mistakes. Nothing they've ever done. The cuts that they literally put in the big beautiful bill means nothing, is nothing, has done nothing, but everybody else is the problem. Everybody else is the problem. It's really insane, honestly. It's really insane. Okay. Let's see. I don't know what. I think we're gonna watch. I don't know. I don't really care about watching PBD anymore. Sorry. I thought that would be interesting, but it really wasn't. But it really wasn't. I just don't find them very funny. Okay. So now let's get to actually. Let's get to some of the highlights of the speeches in this military speech. So Pete Hegseth called this meeting with all the top U.S. generals from across the world to meet. And I missed the AM reaction. What's that? Oh, no. I am going to react to that. The Ethan Klein thing. I'm going to react to that. Just not yet. You didn't miss it. I'm going to react to that. I haven't yet. We're doing all the like heavy stuff first, and then I'm going to do the fun stuff later. But so no, I am going to react to that. It's on my playlist. I watched it. It's hilarious. I'm so excited to watch it. But okay, now I want to watch it. But anyway, we're gonna do this first. So we're gonna talk about the So stick around because we're gonna watch that. So Pete Hegseth had a military meeting, and he got all the top generals from all over the world to come to Virginia for this meeting, right? And this doesn't happen. This was not normal. So everyone was kind of like wondering what they're gonna do. Apparently in the past, they were already doing like polygraph tests to trying to like see people's loyalty and stuff. And which is insane. But everyone was kind of like freaking out, like, what does this meeting mean? What is he going to do? And this whole thing was just like a PR stunt, and it was so incredibly dumb. And all of these people who have like high rankings in the military are here. And they all had to come from all over the world to be here in this auditorium to listen to Pete Hegseth do a little speech. Insane. Just insane. His speech was insane, okay? And we're gonna watch some of the highlights of it, but the main takeaway was basically Pete Hegseth said, we don't want you to be fat. We don't want you to have beards. If you're a woman and you can't, meet whatever standard or do whatever, too bad. We don't want you. And then they're not going to do anonymous complaints anymore. And so the military is already rampant with SA. And this is just going to make it worse. He wants to bring back hazing and bullying. Donald Trump said that he wanted to use our cities as a training ground for the military. So a lot of very concerning things, a lot of really insane things. And, generals like this are supposed to be apolitical. They're not really supposed to respond. They're supposed to be very professional. And so throughout this whole entire time, all of these generals are literally just sitting there, not saying anything, not doing anything. And you could tell Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth are like annoyed by this because they think that they're just like in this rally. And I think they think that all of these people are like going to follow them. But something I actually got out of this that makes me feel a little more hopeful is that I don't think the majority of the people who are in power in the military right now are going along with Pete Hegseth. And I think he did this because there's been a lot of rumors that he's not getting the respect he's not getting the respect he thinks he deserves, or people are just not respectful of him. There's also been rumors that he's been acting more erratically recently. And so Pete Hegseth is just a mess, right? He is just a hot mess of a person. And I don't think these people really like him or respect him, nor do I think should they. But I think a lot of them are looking at this guy and are like, I'm supposed to follow him? I'm supposed to follow him? I'm supposed to respect him? Really? And so none of them seem to be wanting this. None of them seem to respect any of this. There have been a lot of generals who have been coming out and saying this is actually like insane and a waste of time, and they don't know why they're doing this. I think they're going to bring the polygraph test back. I think I heard something about that earlier. So they might bring the polygraph test back. Pete Hegseth also did say during this speech that if you like what I'm saying, great. If you don't, then maybe it's time for you to leave. So he was essentially saying, like, if you're not going to do this warrior ethos that we want you to have, then you need to leave. And that's essentially what he was saying. I think that was like his whole speech. So we're going to watch some highlights from that because it's really insane. And then we're going to read through the memorandum of what is considered Antifa and Antifa thoughts and stuff. Okay. So this drunk F is telling us what's best for us. No. Literally. And that's what I've gotten from a lot of the military members who have spoken out. So actually it makes me feel a lot better. Not that they won't purge them and like try to push them out. I'm not saying that they won't do that. But it does make me feel a lot better that they actually care about like the oath that they took to the Constitution, and they actually like care about that. And they're not willing to just like listen to this madman, which makes me feel great, because I feel like, I mean, not like, it makes me feel a little bit more hopeful, because I feel like all these other institutions are just kind of like bending the knee or kind of like waffling and not really sure what to do. And they're the first institution that I've seen that's kind of like, no, we don't want to do that. You know, we don't want to follow him. But of course, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? Who knows what they're going to do with these polygraphs and what's going to happen, you know? But yeah, this rally can help them to coordinate a response. Yeah. Oh yeah, probably all the members. Well, see, and that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping maybe like there's enough people still in there, because he's like, oh, well, if you don't like this, then you just need to leave. I'm hoping there's enough people who stay just in case, you know, like just in case shit hits the fan and they need to do like a mutiny against the president. Like, you know, maybe they can, maybe they can do that, or maybe like they're able to do that and stay and figure that out. But again, if they're going to do these polygraph tests and they're probably going to do more loyalty tests like that, I don't know how that's going to work out or what's going to happen, but it does give me a little bit of hope, I will say. Hegseth, that movie Underqualified Rich Kid, spends a minute at the company, then CEO is despised. Literally, that's exactly who he is. Like he because I don't even think he got that high of a military rank. Like him being in the position that he's in right now is utterly ridiculous. But of course, most of the people that are in the positions they're in right now are just like utterly ridiculous. Okay, let's do, this whole time I was talking and I was supposed to be bringing up this video. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna bring it up right now, and we're gonna let the little thing ride. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna watch these highlights and see what they said, because it was honestly like, it was insane. It was literally insane. And I think that's like the one place that is not taking their shit, which is actually kind of nice, is not taking their bullshit, which is actually kind of nice to see, because for me, it was a little bit unexpected, but apparently there's a lot of people who said that this was going to happen, and they didn't think that they were going to cheer or be excited about this. And so I'm glad that those people who called that were right, because I would be much, much more worried if they were all like, rah, rah, yeah, let's get the wokies out. You know, like I would be much more worried, but they seem to not want to handle the enemy within, which makes me feel better, you know? But who knows?
Maurice Dubois.
I'm John Dickerson.
The gathering of America's top generals and admirals at the U.S. Marine Base in Quantico, Virginia today was extraordinary. And what they heard from their commander-in-chief and their Secretary of Defense, no less so.
President Trump suggested using America's cities as a training ground for the U.S. military.
And Secretary Hegseth railed against what he called fat generals and admirals, wokeness in the military, service members with beards, beardos he called them, and said male-level physical fitness standards will be required for combat. Anyone who does not like all of this, Hegseth said, can leave.
And for a president used to cheers at his political speeches and adulation from those who work for him, today was different. Charlie D'Agata joins us from the Pentagon.
Very different in so many ways, John. Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman Dan Kane started the meeting by saying it was unprecedented, the scale of senior military officers, what he called a first leaders all call. No one was sure quite what to expect in what turned in.
Also, like a lot of other people were saying, isn't that dangerous? Like, isn't that dangerous that you have all of these high-level military officials in one area at one time? Is that not a dangerous thing? Like, what?
Into a political rally. Nearly 800 of America's top military leaders were summoned from around the globe, apolitical officers who remained silent as their commander-in-chief took the stage and offered this greeting.
You can leave the room. Of course, there goes your rank, there goes your future.
That set the tone for more awkward moments.
Yeah, I don't think he was laughing. Also, Trump sounded really bad in this speech. Like, he sounded like so tired and like he sounded horrible. Like, it's actually wild. I was listening to this and I was like, wow, he's really gone downhill. What is happening?
Moments to come, including the president's suggestion that dangerous U.S. cities like those where National Guard are currently deployed should be used as training grounds for U.S. troops.
This is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within.
Illinois Democratic Senator Tammy.
Insane, warm from within. Also, our governor in Missouri asked the National Guard. So just like Tennessee. So in Tennessee, the governor actually asked for the National Guard to come. Our governor also asked for the National Guard to come. Now, I don't know if they're coming to St. Louis if they're going to Kansas City. I'm not really sure. I think St. Louis because he's been saying St. Louis. I don't remember. But yeah, our National Guard's going to be in Missouri too. Yay. So amazing. I'm so excited. Super dangerous. Yes, he called everyone fat. No, it's so dangerous. I'm actually like worried because the No Kings protest is on the 18th, and I'm definitely gonna go. And so our governor actually asked the National Guard to come out for the first No Kings protest, and I remember laughing at that and thinking it was so ridiculous because it was. And I mean, there were a lot of people, but I mean, it was just like, you know, I think the No Kings protest is harmless. And so it's crazy that like he brought the National Guard out, but they didn't want people to get on the highway, which tends to happen here, which I mean, I don't care, but my mom, anytime I talk to her about stuff like that, she's always like, well, how would you feel if you got stuck in traffic? And I was like, I would not care. I would not care. I'd be like the people in Italy, because that happened in Italy, and the people in Italy were like, yeah, no, we can stop. We love what they're doing. And I was like, exactly. That's what this is supposed to be. You're supposed to be like, you know what? like, no, this is good. This is good. Like, because down the line, if we keep letting this shit happen, there's going to be you're going to be more inconvenienced by the military state we live in, the police state we live in, more than you are today in this moment with your car blocked, okay? Like, you know, but people don't see it that way just because people don't see it that way, I think, in America specifically, because we're taught this individualistic, selfish kind of outlook on everything growing up. And so everything's like, you know, what's fair to me, what matters to me, and like, I need to get somewhere, I need to do something, I need to, you know, do this, and it's never about the collective or about wanting better for everyone, you know, and like understanding how to how to like care about that and be okay with inconveniences in your life to try to make a point or have a better cause or something like that. But we just, I don't know. Most people don't think that way in America. That's not usually what happens. Okay.
Duckworth, an Iraq War veteran, said Trump's proposal is illegal
and unconstitutional. You cannot deploy our military onto the streets of our cities.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth opened the meeting and ripped into diversity initiatives put in place by previous administrations.
No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses.
No more climate change. Was that a problem?
No more division, distraction.
Okay, that's my problem. No more climate change worship. I'm really scared about this climate change shit because they're just acting like it's not even real. All of them are like, it's not real, it's not real, it's not real. Bro, that's the thing that I said this last time. Climate change is something I'm actually very worried about because it is an existential crisis. And right now, yes, we need to fight off the fascism, but like also... a part of that is just like saying climate change doesn't exist. So now we're going to build all these data centers. We're going to do all this shit that is going to be harmful for you and your health and your community. But we're going to do it anyway because climate change doesn't exist in the name of profit, in the name of capital, in the name of growth. It's terrifying.
Action or gender delusions.
That includes, he said, a return to the highest male physical fitness standards.
I don't want my son serving alongside troops who are out of shape, or in combat unit with females who can't meet the same combat arms physical standards as men.
And he took aim at the highest ranking officer.
Okay, sorry, that just reminded me. He said females. You know what the other thing is? A lot of these conservative men hate women. They hate women, and some of them, I think it's because they're gay and they just don't realize it. You were just talking about Benny Johnson, who got outed by a coworker at BuzzFeed, and then Mike Johnson, there's a rumor that this guy is like sending him blackmail. Sending him blackmail about his like Tinder or about his Grindr profile or whatever, but we don't know if that's true or not. But it's just a rumor. It's just a thing that this guy did on TikTok. But today, so there's been construction around, and it's like right outside my door, and it's driving me insane on a daily basis. But a couple weeks ago, I heard them talking, because sometimes I like open my window and listen and like just, to get the air in. And the one guy, I have rainbows everywhere, right? Whatever. It's very well, I make it very well known where I stand on most things, very outwardly. And I could hear this guy, and I don't think he knew that my window was open. I think I might have mentioned this before. I don't know if he knew my window was open or what, but he said, I bet they don't, or I bet she doesn't know, because I don't think they use they, but I bet she doesn't know what a woman is or whatever. And I just remember hearing that and being like, what? And so I turned on Majority Report and Hasanavi, and I listened to it at full blast with my window open, because I just was trying to be petty. But then today I heard them talking, and they were talking about their wives, and oh my God, I hope that kind of love never finds me. Okay, never finds me. The way they were talking about their wives, I was getting mad for their wives. One guy was like, when I get home from work, my wife wants to have time alone because he's like, I know she's been dealing with the kid all day, but either hang out with me or stop being so depressing. I did not know what to say. And then the other guy was like, yeah, these females. And I was like, oh my God. I was losing. It took everything in me not to literally go and be like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Listen, I don't want kids. I'm not a person who wants kids. I don't want kids. Never in my life. Okay. But the simple fact that you don't think being at home with a child all day and dealing with that is work, you are what? The same type of person that's gonna be I don't know how the divorce happened. I don't know how it happened. You just don't like your wife, or you just don't like women. I don't know. One or the two. I don't know which one it is, but it's one of the two, man. It's one of the two. And maybe you need to reevaluate your life if you're going to hate your wife so much. God, it was just I couldn't believe it. I could believe it, but I was just like, what? Love, I know. God. Empathy is GOP kryptonite, honestly. Okay, sorry. I know that was a really big tangent, but I just heard that today and I had to say something because it just was oh my God. Okay, let's finish this. This is almost done.
Officers.
It's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look.
Yeah, and you know who came up on after him? Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Wait, but I forgot. He has those AI cards where he's ripped, right? So that's who they care about. That's who they look at.
Vermont Democrat Peter Welch said the meeting was unnecessary.
That's how they think of Trump, which is so insane.
Necessary and a bad idea.
It's a further effort to politicize the military. It's very, very alarming. There is no reason to bring all of these people at enormous taxpayer expense to Washington to get a pep talk.
Haig said
to get a pep talk. That's why I like this, because you have all these guys who you typically probably wouldn't think would be like, oh my God, this is crazy. What is happening? Like, you typically wouldn't think that they would say that. And now you got them being like, yeah, this is alarming. Like, this is not good. This is bad. And you're like, it's like, okay, we should probably listen to him.
I told the audience they could disagree with him, but the words I'm speaking today are making your heart sink, then you should do the honorable thing and resign.
Charlie, we did not hear any reaction from the generals and the admirals in the room. Take us through why that's the case.
Well, Maurice, it's part of the decorum of protocol for officers not to applaud or cheer during political events or even some rallies. But while there were a few smiles, a bit of laughter here and there to some of the things that President Trump was saying, some polite applause, for the most part, the room was silent through roughly 2 hours of speeches.
Charlie, the Secretary Hegseth is reviewing the military handling of hazing, bullying, harassment. Explain what that's about.
Yeah, so this is an overhaul, and if you'll pardon me for reading. So Secretary Hegseth, there should be an overhaul of department policy defining the conduct by service members, and that includes hazing, bullying, harassment. It's clearly broad and promising to dismiss the records of tough leaders with past infractions.
That's dangerous. See, I didn't know that part, that he was going to dismiss past infractions. That's really dangerous, because a lot of women get SA'd and like have gotten killed as well. And I know I was watching Waj earlier, and he had someone on, I think her name is Allison Gill, and she was in the military and she got SA'd, and they literally she got reprimanded for wanting to make the complaint. She got reprimanded because he was married and all this kind of stuff. And she's the one who got in trouble. After she got SA'd, she's the one that got in trouble because he was married. I mean, it's just like, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And this has been a problem in the military for a very long time now. And so this is going to make it worse. And then to completely just dismiss anyone who has had a past like that is terrifying. It's terrifying. Like, that is so terrifying. Yeah, she said was committing adultery. I just like, when I was listening to that and she said that, I just like didn't even know how to react. Like, I was just in such like horror that happened. But I know that it's much more common than, I mean, honestly, it shouldn't happen at all, but it's like, I know that it's much more common than it should be. And God, it's just so like, I don't even know what to say, because it's just so horrific. The fact that that's the way this plays out. And now it's going to be even worse, which is like hard to even imagine, but it's going to be even worse. And now they can haze people and bully people. And I have a friend who was in the Marines, and like, I've heard stories about what it was like, what it was like going through all of that, going through training. And it is brutal, and they do not treat you well. And I like would have had a mental breakdown on day one. Like, I would not, there's no way. Also, I'm not good with authority. So like, I would totally like talk back. I would totally talk shit. But I like, it's insane that this is going to get even worse than it already is. In charge to not let him do. Oh, okay. He essayed the woman. The GOP was in charge. He did essay any other women. Okay. So, yeah. So we talked about that. Next, I wanted to show you, because Trump was talking about the enemy from within, and that we need to okay. So I wanted to talk about this next thing, because Donald Trump did a memorandum, and in his speech, when he was talking to the military, he was talking about the enemy from within, and that our cities are going to be a training ground for the military. And he recently did an executive order on Antifa being described as domestic terrorists. And so I wanted to go through this because he made a memorandum kind of outlining what kind of, like, what that entails and like what they're looking for when it comes to stuff like that. And I know a lot of people have talked about it, but I wanted to talk about it. I also think it's really concerning. They're trying to make like trans Tifa a thing. They've designated trans people as like nihilistic domestic terrorists, which is psychotic, which is insane. Trans people are not the reason for your problems. Trans people are not why you can't afford rent. Trans people have nothing to do with the problems that you deal with in your day-to-day life. They just want to exist. They just want to live. And unfortunately, you have people like Elon Musk. I saved a tweet that Elon Musk did. It's pretty old, but I think I saved a tweet that he did that was like insane, and it was talking about trans people. And this rhetoric is this is what it was. They said data is transphobic. This is wokeness. SA offenders per million, biological women 3, biological men 395, trans women 1,916. I don't even know where they're getting this from, nor do I believe an account called wokeness, but I think people like Elon Musk amplifying this is the problem. And especially since he has a trans daughter who is iconic and beautiful and wonderful, by the way. I love her. But this is so dangerous. Like, this is incredibly dangerous. And it just scares me that, like, I don't even know where they got this from. And it's so funny because they're like, data is transphobic. You're not even specifying where this is from. You're not saying what is happening. And there is no way that this is true. There is no way that this is true. There's just no way this is real. And yet he's doing it. But I also think Elon Musk is falling off. Let me see. Oh, wait. No, did I not save it? Oh, wait, no. Okay, I saved it. So Elon Musk, he wrote this earlier today, and I just thought it was funny. Please reply if you see this within 5 minutes of posting, but no later than that. This is a test to determine how long it takes for users to receive notifications of X posts on their actual device. Are people not responding to you, Elon Musk? Are people not interacting with you, Elon Musk? Oh my God. Okay. So that was a little derailment there, but I just wanted to talk about that because I do think it's important. And I do think, they're going after trans people very seriously. And I think it's very dangerous for trans people right now. And, I have people in my life who have like moved to other states, because Missouri is not safe. And, I'm worried that, a lot of trans people are going to start leaving the country just because, unfortunately, that seems to be what is happening right now. But I don't know. It's very concerning. It's very terrifying, and I'm very scared. And the rhetoric around trans people, seeing them as like the other, seeing them as dangerous, it is dangerous in and of itself. And, I think that's who that's who they're ultimately going after first, and it's terrifying. And so, if you're a cis person, or I don't know, just speak out about it. Make sure you speak out about it. Talk to people about it. I stand up for trans people within my own Republican family, and I try to like get them to understand that like they are not interfering with your life. They are not hurting you in any way. Like, I've even talked to my family members who have said things, and I've said, how does that affect you? And they're like, well, it doesn't. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, do you know a trans person? Have you talked to a trans person? And then they say no. And I'm like, okay, well, then you don't know a trans person. You haven't talked to a trans person. Their lives have no impact on yours. So why are you obsessing over them? Why are you demonizing them? Why are you doing this? It doesn't make any sense. Of course it didn't work, but I do think it's important to point that out because, it's just vile. It's just vile what's going on. And so I did want to talk about that because it's a very important issue to me. And I don't think the Democrats are doing a very good job of pushing back. I think they're kind of just letting trans people be the the person that they're going to let them go after, and they think that that's somehow going to save the rest of us or save them. And it's not going to. Throwing trans people under the bus are not going to save you. It's not going to help you. It's not going to stop them. It's not going to stop this fascist regime from coming after you. It just won't. So yeah. But all that to say, this is what they're calling out as like Antifa, or what they're trying to go after when it comes to like Antifa, domestic terrorism, or whatever. So it says there are common recurrent motivations, and I don't know that word, uniting this pattern of violent and terroristic activities under the umbrella of self-described anti-fascism. These movements portray foundational American principles, as fascist, support for law enforcement and border control as fascist, to justify and encourage acts of violent revolution. Not true. This anti-fascist lie has become the organizing rally cry used by domestic terrorists to wage a violent assault against democratic institutions, constitutional rights, and fundamental American liberties. Sorry, I ate before this. Okay. So I'm going to start this over. Okay, so this anti-fascist lie has been the organizing rally cry used by domestic terrorists to wage a violent assault against democratic institutions, constitutional rights, and fundamental American liberties. And when I was reading this initially, I was like, that's like what you're doing. Like sending ICE out into the streets, sending National Guard out into the streets. Like that's what they're doing. Like they're doing that. Like a judge, a Republican judge, a Reagan appointed judge just came out with I forgot what it's called, but with a statement saying that like Donald Trump is going against the First Amendment. He was going against the First Amendment when he was trying to deport Mahmoud Khalil. He was going against the First Amendment when they kidnapped Romesa Ozturk. And so he said that, and he wrote a very scathing review about how this is against the First Amendment. This is dangerous. This is unconstitutional. And I mean, it was, of course it was. I mean, it was very obvious that it was. And so I'm glad that decision came out today. Again, will they follow it? Probably not, but at least some people are speaking up and saying, hey, no, this is unconstitutional. You know, all the talk in the beginning of the administration, when we were like, are we in a constitutional crisis or are we not? Are we in one or are we not? I mean, of course we're in one. Like we are in it. We're in it right now. I just think people have stopped talking about it because we've normalized a lot of things that are not normal, and we normalized a lot of unconstitutional things and are acting as if it's just normal because Donald Trump is just so insane on a daily basis that there's so many things that happen throughout the day that we're just kind of like, well, I guess whatever, you know. And it's not normal. It's not normal at all. Okay, so okay, so this is the part that is concerning. Common threads animating this violent conduct include anti-Americanism, anti-capitalism, wild, anti-Christianity, support for the overthrow of the United States government. That's a wild one to put in there. After January 6th, that's like actually a really wild one to put in there, but sure. Extremism on migration. Again, another wild one to put in there, because me saying I don't want people to get kidnapped off the streets by masked individuals who nobody knows who they are, somehow is extreme. Which is insane. That's the extreme position. That me not wanting, you and me not wanting people to get kidnapped off the streets by masked individuals who have killed a man. There was someone, one of the ICE agents killed someone in Chicago recently. Somehow not wanting that to happen is extreme. Okay. Insane. Extremism on race and gender, and hostility towards those who hold traditional American views on family, religion, and morality. Insane. This is insane. It's insane. Yeah, and it says, as described in the order of September 22nd, 2025, designating Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization, the groups and entities that perpetrate this extremism have created a movement that embraces and elevates violence to achieve policy outcomes, including justifying additional assassinations. For example, Charlie Kirk's alleged assassination, engraved bullets used to the murder of the so-called anti-fascist rhetoric. Not going to relitigate the whole Charlie Kirk thing again. Not going to do it. A lot of these people are not, you can't put them in one box. It's not like this person is this, whatever. It's not going to relitigate that. But it is concerning. It is concerning because this is not centralized. And so they are going to go after, I think, the groups that do have a little, that are more popular first. But yeah, it's terrifying because it's not centralized. And like I said before, like, even in St. Louis, there are tons of different groups, but like to get them to all act together is like really difficult. Okay. Like to get people to come together and actually do things together is very difficult. And like watching this, watching this happen and reading that is really insane to me, like right now, because like I said, I watched, I finished it this morning, was Judas and the, I think, what was it? Judas and the Black Messiah, I think, the movie about Fred Hampton. And it's insane to like read that and then look back at history, because the government has been doing these violent acts against activists, against, people who go against what the government's doing for a very long time. And they point blank assassinated Fred Hampton, just like point blank. And they tried to hide it and they couldn't. And it's like very surreal, like hearing all of the things that like government has done in the past to the people and all these tactics that they've taken to then be put on, but like, okay, I guess this is my point. So like watching that and seeing how like the Black Panthers were extremely organized, and like Fred Hampton actually went and talked to like white groups as well, like white groups that were not, that were probably a little racist. He also talked to them and he wanted to organize with them, and he started working with them to get organized. And so that's why he was such a threat to the government, because he was actually he was actually building class solidarity, and he was very organized, and he was trying, and he was organizing around class solidarity. And so that was a problem to them because it was anti-capitalist. And so now that they're trying to have the same framing again, and they're trying to have a similar, I think they're trying to do like they're trying to act in a similar way, where they're saying, hey, if you're against this war, because back then it was the Vietnam War, if you're against this war, if you're against capitalism, if you're against all of these things, then like you're an enemy and you're a problem. And I also think it's not reassuring, but I also think like it is good to know that we have been through moments like this before, maybe not as like extreme. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, because watching a lot of movies about the civil rights movement and stuff like that, it was very extreme. It was so extreme. And so America has gone through these things before. Not saying that this isn't unique, because they're like consolidating power and doing all this stuff. It is. But America kind of has always been like this, and now we're just bringing back this 50s, 60s style of coming down on protesters and coming down on activists, which is a terrifying concept. Which is a terrifying concept, because they they were killing activists, they were assassinating activists, they were using informants, they were using they were falsely arresting them, like with the Chicago 7. They arrested them even though they knew that the police actually incited the riot. They had proof that the police incited the riot, and they went after them anyway. They literally were jailing lawyers for just doing their job, holding them in contempt. And I was watching a speech of Abby Hoffman during that an interview, and you know, he was saying, this is fascism, this is fascist, like this is a fascist government that would go after us, that would go after our lawyers, like this is an important time in history. And so, you know, I think we can learn a lot from like looking back at that time, and I think we can learn a lot from how those activists like handled things and how they organized. And you know, unfortunately, the reason that they did go after them like that is because they were successful, and because they were organizing, and because they were doing class solidarity, and because they were becoming very successful, and they were doing good work. And so I do think you know, it's like scary, because it's like, okay, well, we need to organize like that now. We need to bring class solidarity together again now, and we need to have things like that now. Unfortunately, they will go after it, and they probably will use similar tactics. But I do think that the way that the Black Panthers organized, and I know there were a lot of other different groups that organized back then, but the organization and the class solidarity and just trying to bring everybody together to organize for better conditions, I do think is important. Yeah, sorry. I've been thinking a lot about that. I actually wanted to watch like a Fred Hampton speech really quick, and I think that goes along with this, because I've literally been like going down a rabbit hole of like all their speeches and Abby Hoffman, and I'm gonna buy his book. It's called Steal This Book, and I've been finding some. I feel like I've been getting so angry. I'm just like angry all the time, and like watching them, and like seeing how they handled all these things, and just like seeing them being so blatantly honest all the time and never backing down is actually really like, it gives me hope, actually. Like watching it has actually been really helpful. So I just wanted to watch a speech from him real quick, and then we'll move on. Okay, wait, let's see. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Okay, here we go. This is the speech. It's a great speech. I watched it earlier.
Bobby Seale is going through all types of physical and mental torture, but that's all right, because...
Okay, so this was during the Chicago 7's trial. The Chicago 7's trial was originally the Chicago 8, because Bobby Seals was a part of that trial, and he was the only Black man that was a part of that, and he is actually one of the co-founders of the Black Panther Party. And I think he like made a speech. He wasn't even there for that long for the riot in Chicago. I don't even think it was a police riot in Chicago. It was during the DNC. That's why that was the event that a lot of people were doing like a parallel for the Gaza, the one in Chicago, and how everyone protested for Gaza and they still didn't care. Of course, it didn't end up at the same way, but there were a lot of people that came out and protested during the DNC. And so back then, that's what happened. A lot of people came there and they were protesting against the Vietnam War, and they got kettled in, but Bobby Seals wasn't even there. Like, he wasn't even there. And so they put him in there just to kind of try to make it seem like just to try, they were trying to mess with him. He was also on trial for supposedly killing a police officer, but that was not real either. He did not kill a police officer. They were trying to frame him. And so they did a lot of these tactics back then of trying to frame activists and trying to get them in jail for things that they did not do, just to get them off of the street, get them stop organizing. And so that's what they were trying to do to Bobby Seals. But the way they treated him in that courtroom was just horrendous. He kept speaking up because he didn't have a lawyer, and his lawyer was in the hospital, and they wouldn't extend the trial to wait for his lawyer. And so then they literally gagged him and tied him to the chair for the trial for I think I don't know if it was like a week or a few days. Literally. And the lawyer for the other guys literally had to stand up and be like, this is racist. This is insane. He needs a lawyer. He got a mistrial for that, thank goodness, eventually. But the lawyer was charged with contempt of court for standing up for him, saying he needs a lawyer. This is unconstitutional. Like, what are you doing? And for literally tying him to the chair. And Abby Hoffman in that same interview was saying, this is racist. Of course this is racist. And because an interviewer was asking him, he's like, well, why do you think the judge is racist? He said, what do you mean, why do I think the judge is racist? Like, what are you saying to me right now? And he's like, oh, well, I mean, I just don't understand why you would think the judge is racist. So, I mean, listen, it's wild watching all of this because it's like, wow, I don't like have our journalists evolved? Not really. Okay, anyway, I'll stop interrupting him. I just wanted to give like a setup for what and why this speech is happening.
We said even before this happened, and we're going to say it after this, and after I'm locked up, and after everybody's locked up, that you can jail revolutionaries, but you can't jail a revolution.
You can jail a revolutionary, but you can't jail a revolution.
Right. You might run a liberator like Eric Cleave out the country, but you can't run liberation out the country. You might murder a freedom fighter like Bobby Hutton, but you can't murder freedom fighting. And if you do, you come up with answers that don't answer, explanations that don't explain. You come up with conclusions that don't conclude. And you come up with people that you thought should be acting like pigs, that's acting like people and moving on pigs. And that's what we've got to do. So we're going to see about Bobby, regardless of what these people think we should do. Because school is not important and work is not important. Nothing's more important than stopping fascism, because fascism will stop us all.
Okay, sorry. My favorite part about that is was that, nothing else matters. This is what fighting fascism matters, because if we don't, fascism will fight us all. And I really like that. And that made me feel really good. And I liked watching that because I feel like it does get a little daunting every day to wake up and live your life in like a fascist state. And, I do think that we should speak up. We should fight fascism. We should use our voices. We should say our opinions, and it's scary. And who knows what's going to happen, but we should stand up, because if we don't stand up, then this will continue. But if we stand up, then there's a chance that, it might not. And so I do think I just really liked that quote. I really like that quote, that fascism will fight you. Okay. Is this learning time? Kind of. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I have ADHD. And so I'm like, oh, let me try this new thing. Let me do this. Let me do that. And then I just decided that I need to stop trying to be like all these other channels. And I just need to do my own thing and talk about whatever I want to talk about and yap, because that's what I like to do. But yes, learning time. I want to talk more about, I do in the coming weeks want to keep talking and watching more of these speeches, because I've been really interested in them. And I do think it helps give people a little hope that we've been in really bad times before in this country. And, this is just another bad time, and, maybe we can make it out of this. Maybe we can. I'm not all super hopium, but I'm trying to be less black felt, if that makes sense. Okay, let's look at all of these. Okay, just like the way I like to watch live streams. I know that you mean I have someone who I care about that is trans, and that is and it's dangerous. Attacks need to stop. Yeah, no, same here. And it's just sad, and it's really honestly scary. It's honestly terrifying. And I'm just really scared. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just really scared. And I think this is Democrats just see trans people as a pawn that they can compromise, that they can compromise their rights to be able to gain power, which is essentially what Ezra Klein was trying to do, and said he would do, with Ta-Nehisi Coates when they were talking. And that's why I get so frustrated with Democrats, because they both parties use trans people as a pawn. conservatives are using them as like a scare tactic, but then, Democrats are using them as a way to try to like come to some middle ground with conservatives, but it's not on economic policy. It's on literal human rights, which is insane, which should not be acceptable at all. Yeah, all the mileage they get for trans being the next boogeyman. Yeah, it's terrifying. The Democrats have jobs. Oh my God. We're going to talk about the data center next. And that one of the aldermen, my God, my alderman was the only alderman that did well. There's a data center that probably is going to be built in St. Louis. And there was a meeting about it, a city meeting about it today. And the aldermen were talking about it. And one alderman was like, well, we already have data centers here that we didn't regulate. So why are we now regulating this one? And I was like, what? What? And the lady who like works on the planning board was like, well, I think having regulations and thinking about regulations is our job. So like, I think we should do it. I was like, oh, great. Thanks. Great. Wonderful. Oh God. Okay. Get this stuff on the record. Important, makes it harder to erase. Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I think it's good. Like everyone should talk about it and everyone should mention it. And like we should talk about these things because this is crazy. Wow, Gilead. Yeah, honestly, I got suspended from Twitter before it was X for what I said about cops and defenders of police. Oh my God. No spoilers. No spoilers for what? I don't know what you're talking about. Are they the movies? I don't know. The unique part is that we are in a techno-feudalist system. Yeah, that's actually, and I didn't mention this, but I talked about this on Sunday that I watched Idiocracy. I've seen it a couple times, but it's on Netflix, so I watched it again. And something that's really interesting about Idiocracy is that they are all so dumb, but they're also like very surveilled. Like it is like tech feudalism. Like they, when they're in the car and how they have like the scanner and he keeps everywhere they go, he keeps getting scanned and that's how they know where he is. And that one guy's car shut down when it realized they had like a person in the car and then it started like shooting at them. Like, even though it's like satire, I do think that tech feudalism is kind of what it was portraying. I don't know who was in charge of the tech. I don't know who, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know who that was supposed to be because they all seem pretty dumb, or if it was just there and it's just a remnant of what was. But it is interesting because it's like, it was still very fascist and it was still like, it was like techno feudalism because they literally monitored your every move, which is kind of already happening. Julius and Ethel Rosenberg. I'm not sure who that is. The Mann Act in Jackson Johnson, 1910. Look it up. I will look that up. Let's see if I can like copy your message and paste it. Oh, I can. Okay, perfect. I'm going to copy and paste it so I don't forget. And I'll look that up. Okay, that didn't work. Anyway, okay, so who has been crowned on yonder stair, red resurrection or black despair? I don't know what that means. Is this learning time? Oh, okay, Palestinians too. Yes, no, Palestinians have been like the boogeyman and have been denoted as have been like a scare tactic. I think if that's what you were mentioning, I'm not sure. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to talk about, I believe, yes, is the STL data center, and then we're going to do the fun Ethan video. Okay, so I just want to talk about this, and this might be boring for everyone else, so I'm sorry, but we won't spend too long on this, but I really just wanted to talk about this. Because I don't know, I care about it. And yeah, so there's supposed to be a data center built in St. Louis, literally like very close to where I live. And it's very concerning because data centers, they take up a lot of water, they take up a lot of resources. Now, in this meeting, it was really interesting because in this meeting, a lot of the aldermen were saying that apparently there are people from like Ameren and from data centers and consultants and whatever that were there too, that were pro data center. And they were there saying like, well, there's new technology now where they recycle the water and they don't take up as much water. And then there's also new technology where they don't like pollute the air or they don't use the energy grid. Listen, I am not a scientist. I am not a tech person. I am not like, I don't know this stuff, right? I don't know it. But what I will say is that I don't trust these, I don't trust these, sorry, I'm trying to think. I don't trust them, if I'm being honest. And I don't, and maybe that's me. I don't want to, anyway, I just don't trust that. Like, I feel like it's like all these other industries where they say that they're doing better or that they can do this in an economic way. And then it almost never is true. And I feel like that happens so much in just society. It's not just in America. It's in a lot of places. I think it happens with animal agriculture a lot. It happens with oil production. And I think we're constantly told that like, oh, well, we're doing this and we're trying to greenwash it. And then that doesn't end up being the case at all. And I think you make a great point that it would probably cost more. And are they willing to do that cost? And so I think that's the other thing, because right now, the reason they're trying to make this data center in St. Louis is we literally have no regulations for data centers. And so that's what I was talking about earlier, is one of the aldermen was like, well, we already have all of these other data centers and we're not regulating them. Why are we going to regulate this one? And for me, I'm like, okay, well, we should regulate those. We should have been regulating those. We should regulate those. And we should also regulate this one. To me, well, I mean, I don't even think there should be a data center, but unfortunately, they did pass the resolution to talk about regulations. And so there was an effort, there was a petition to put a moratorium on building data centers in St. Louis for a year, and they did not do that. They passed the resolution to regulate them or just like talk about regulations. It's not even to regulate them, it's just to talk about regulations for them. So unfortunately, I do think this is going to go through because apparently they don't need approval from the city to be able to do this because they like own this land or this certain. Listen, I don't know, but it's really scary how all these corporations can just like own this land or buy this land and then I guess not. I don't know how they don't have to get approval from the city, but I guess they don't, which is terrifying. And so it's really scary, honestly. But there were a lot of aldermen that, like, honestly, my alderman was the only alderman that was like, well, you guys are saying that this is going to be okay for air and water, but like, do we really know that? Are we really sure? Like, you guys are saying that, but then if you were to look at someplace like Memphis, then that probably, that's not their reality. So like, you're saying these things, but in reality, in practice, is that how this is going to work? And if you look at where there are data centers, no, it's not how it currently works. And I think you're right, it's going to cost more. So is this corporation willing to do that? And then you had someone from Ameren, which is our energy provider here, say, oh, well, we're going to make sure that they pay their fair share, because typically when data centers, they use up a lot of electricity, and they usually use it from the data grid of the community that they're in. Now, like these people said, they said that there was a way that they could do it without doing that. Do I trust it? No. But they said that there's a new technology and there's a way to do it without having to take it from our power grid. And but typically what happens is energy prices go up at that point. And Ameren has actually already upped their prices for energy recently, at least where I live. And it's getting very unaffordable. It was already expensive, but now it's like really expensive. And so they had someone from Ameren come to the meeting say, well, we're going to make sure they pay their fair share, Again, do I believe that? No. And the reason that everyone wants this to happen is in the name of growth, is in the name of to grow St. Louis, to grow St. Louis, to bring in tax dollars. That's what they were saying, is that they need to bring in tax dollars. And this is the other thing. And there were a lot of people from like PSL and DSA and all these other groups like within St. Louis that went and spoke. I couldn't speak, but I did write an email because I believe it's getting built in my ward. Like it's very close to me. So like I believe it's getting built in my ward. And so my alderman was like the only person that I feel like had a reasonable response to all of this. But there were a lot of people from like PSL and DSA that came in, and they were saying like, you guys keep saying that these taxes are going to go to schools and that all this, but that has never worked. That has never worked. Like I had a history teacher in high school who was a state representative, and she point blank told us that the whole lottery giving to public schools is a lie. That doesn't happen. That money doesn't go to public schools. And a lot of St. Louis public schools are being shut down. A lot of things are being shut down in St. Louis. And they're trying to build it into this like hip city, and like these taxes just never trickle down. So there were a lot of people who were talking about this and were saying, we need these resources for other things, not a data center. And but everyone who, like most of the aldermen, which is why I'm not super hopeful about this, and a lot of the other people who were there were saying, well, we need the taxes, and so it's great. Not to people's surprise, but a lot of the people who are pro data center won't be living near the data center, don't live near the data center. So I don't know if they really care about people like me who will be near it, but sure, whatever. They live in the county, they don't care. And so what does it bother them? But it's just very frustrating, and I just don't think that it's going to trickle down. I don't trust that they can't get out of the taxes, because a lot of these big corporations find a way to get out of these taxes, and it is for AI. I didn't know what it was for at first, but it is for AI. And something else that people were talking about, and I'm gonna do the speech I'm gonna set it up, and then we're gonna watch the speech from my alderman, and then we'll be done. But because I feel like my alderman, when he was talking, he made a lot of really great points, and so I just wanted to like highlight that real quick. But a lot of these big corporations get out of taxes, okay? And I don't think this is going to help anyone. And I understand that there are jobs that it can create, and I understand that. But like my alderman's gonna say, like this is like a lot. There have been so many reports saying that this AI bubble is going to burst. So many reports. So why are we going to invest all of this? Why are we going to potentially put our community at risk to have this here that doesn't make any sense? And unfortunately, I think they're going to do it here because a lot of the aldermen think that this is a way to get St. Louis to grow. One guy who was there said that, if we want St. Louis to be like Chicago or New York, then we need to do this. And I think and what made me so mad about all of this is you don't want St. Louis to grow, you just want to gentrify it. And I know that's a lot coming from someone like me, I'm white, I whatever, but you don't care about the community. You don't care about the community having what they need. You don't care about affordable housing. You don't care about people who need jobs, who maybe don't have the technical experience to be able to do that. Also, I understand that data centers bring jobs initially, but the center itself as it runs and once it's built is not I don't think it has all that many jobs to offer realistically. And so they don't care about this community. They just want to be able to use our resources and take advantage of it because there aren't any regulations as of right now. And so that's what they're trying to do because they see it as an easy way to get this here and to get money. And Ameren is not going to make them pay their fair share whatsoever. We already had aldermen who were saying, well, we don't want to stop them from doing this. We don't want to stop them from doing this because we want to be able to grow. We want that money. So we don't want to put regulations on it because we don't want to hinder them from doing this. She even voted no on the resolution. She voted no on the resolution to just talk about regulations, which is insane. Because she's like, well, we don't want to hinder them from coming here. And I was getting so upset because I'm like, dude, there's a reason that they try to put these in certain communities. There's a reason that they do that. There's a reason for that because they think that people won't fight back. Also, again, back to the becoming New York or Chicago thing. This should not be about making this the biggest city. This should not be about growing, okay? I went to school in Nashville. And when I went there, it was already becoming insane. But now it has gotten even more insane. It is overpopulated. It is crazy. Things are crazy. Traffic is crazy. Like, they do not have the infrastructure. They do not have the setup to be able to handle all of these people. And they have been gentrifying big spaces in Nashville. And my school, the school I went to, is a part of that. And they're just buying up land all around the school. And that used to be an area where a lot of black and brown people lived, and now they're gentrifying it all and they're buying up all the land and they're putting up all these crazy apartment complexes and all these things that no one can afford. And that's what they're starting to do here. And so it's not about helping the community. It's not about the community that's already here. It's not about growing this community. It is about taking advantage of it. It is about taking it for all of the resources that it has and then gentrifying it. That's what this is. That is what they want, and that is what this is. And there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that the one alderman that voted no on just regulating them was like, they're like, well, it's not about feelings, it's about facts. And I was like, okay. Okay, man. And I feel bad because I understand, I do see how some people would think, okay, well, if this gives more people opportunity, that's what's best for this community, this underserved community. But it's not. It's not. This is just a propaganda point for this big corporation, and it's not actually going to help anyone. And that's my personal opinion. But we're gonna watch what my alderman has to say. I'll read this real quick. The technology may be better, but will they pay for more? Yeah, I don't think so. Pretty Little Lies. Yeah, that's what we get for being poor. Honestly, trickle-down economics still not working. So surprising. Missouri decimated SLPS. I think I was reading about this earlier today to figure out why my high school, Roosevelt. Oh, you went to Roosevelt? Oh my gosh. Was bad by incident reports. Yeah, the school that I went to wasn't even accredited when I first went there. I think it was accredited maybe like my sophomore year of high school. Road still sucks all over the city. Yeah, not sustainable jobs. Yeah, it's not. Well, see, and then that's another alder person said, this is infrastructure. That sent me. I started screaming at my phone. I was like, you've got to be effing kidding me. I'm like, do you know what we need? We need public transit. Do you know what we're not doing right now? Do you know what the mayor specifically said? There was a project where they were going to expand the Metro link. And she said that she wasn't going to do it anymore. She said she wasn't going to do it anymore. I'm like, that is infrastructure. That helps the community. Honestly, you want to be more like Chicago and New York? They have public transit. They have walkable cities. They have public transit. Do we have that? No. The public transit in St. Louis is dog shit. It's dog shit. I had to take it for a few years. Dog shit, okay? You gotta take 3 or 4 buses and a train just to get where you are, and it takes you 3 hours to get somewhere that's 30 minutes away. It's insane. It's insane. It's so stupid. And it's just it's so infuriating because they're like, we wanna grow. Do you know what would be sustainable jobs? Expanding the Metro link. That would be sustainable jobs. Not this. This is insane. Okay, my little rant for the day. LOL. Okay, we're gonna watch this video, I promise. I'm having a crash out. This made me crash out today. This was the lady that voted no, by the way. This was the lady that voted no on the regulations and didn't want regulations. And then this was the lady that was like, well, it's kind of our job to do this. It's kind of our job to make sure we have regulations. But, okay. All right, let me find my alder person. He's the last one to speak. Of course, this guy, I don't know who this guy is. But he was the one who was like, I think the data center is a good idea. Okay. He's like, I might be the only one. I don't know. Okay, wait, I gotta wait. Okay, I think.
Us from the growth we know we desperately need. So thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, I'll...
Okay, this is my older person talking now. He was the only one. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen, of course. Okay. Okay, so... Okay, here we go.
I'll just finish this up here. So I think data centers are relatively new still, and we're learning more about them every day.
I'm not gonna lie, I was like really proud because I was like, oh my god, I was like, thank goodness. At least like I think I voted for him too because those elections were relatively recent, and I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God. At least we have one like person that's like saying something reasonable. Or at least that I think is reasonable.
Artificial intelligence is new. The driving force behind the demand for data centers is AI, and so we're still learning more about that, but we're also reading that 95% of generative AI pilots at companies are failing. So I think we do not understand the demand for AI yet as a relatively new technology. And yet I also know that communities that have had data centers put in them have seen detrimental effects to their quality of life. And it may be that new technologies may mitigate some of those issues. But as we pointed out, industry is often way ahead of government. And so I hear the need to slow down and get this right. And I agree with that. I know the city needs revenue. And as an advocate for development in St. Louis that benefits our city, I do see our declining tax base as a big problem for our city that hurts everyone, every part of our city. But I also know that we just got hundreds of millions of dollars of American Rescue Plan Act money, and we can barely spend it because we don't have the people to spend it. We don't have the employees to go out and do the work. So what St. Louis needs is people. And what data centers bring is not people.
That was my favorite part. I think we're going to finish watching what he has to say, but that was my favorite part about all of it because the whole time everyone, and there was actually one person, I think they were from PSL, who was like, the people who are for this are all businessmen, who are all sitting here in business suits over here. He's like, we're, everyone from like all the other people who are against it were like, we're from the community, and we're worried, and this is going to affect us. And then you have all these other guys in business suits coming up being like, oh, it'll be fine, don't worry. But I really like that he said that because that's what everyone was saying. Oh, it'll bring tax revenue. It'll be okay. Don't worry. But you can see he's saying, yeah, I'm worried about tax revenue too, but we need people, not a data center. We need more people to come here, not a data center. Okay. And I think to get more people to come here, we need better public transit. Maybe we should get back on that project. Maybe we should use all that money for transit. I don't know, just a thought. Okay, let's finish this. I really liked that part though.
So again, I am hearing like St. Louis shouldn't be closed for business. I don't think anyone is saying that it is. I think we regulate uses every day. Like you have to get a liquor license if you want to open a bar in a neighborhood. This is no different than that. It's protecting communities, making sure that we're asking the right questions. So I think that the executive order that the mayor signed a couple of weeks ago really splits the difference nicely. I think it asks the important questions that protect our residents. And for those of you who came today to speak in favor of these, I understand the jobs are important, but I wonder what questions you'd ask if this was going to be built next to your house. So it's important to ask these questions and to get this right.
I really liked that. Because in St. Charles, this was going to happen. And St. Charles is a more like affluent community that has, that is like, they have like a lot more money in St. Charles, and it's in the county. And they were able to get a moratorium on data centers altogether. So no data centers can be built there. And it is interesting seeing the outrage in St. Charles and how they were listened to and how they were able to get that moratorium. But then in St. Louis, it's like this whole meeting, this whole thing was just talking about if we should regulate the data center or not. Not if we should have it, not if but just seeing if we can even just regulate it or not. If we can even talk about regulating it. That's all this is then the ruling or whatever that they passed today, the resolution that they passed today was just to discuss regulations. Okay, so this is not even putting regulations in place. This is just to discuss regulations because there are none right now. Which is insane in even of itself, that like there are none, and that all this has to happen, and there's so much pushback just to discuss regulations. And for me, that gives a red flag, because everyone's like, oh, it'll be fine, don't worry, there's new technology, you'll be fine, don't worry. When, okay, then why don't you want us to have regulations? Then why can't we have regulations? Why can't we regulate what you're doing? Why can't we monitor what you're doing? If you're against that, if you're saying this is going to be safe and this is fine, then okay, then prove it. Then we should have these regulations. Then we should be able to do this. I don't think this should be built at all. But if you're like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's a red flag that there's all these people like, well, maybe we shouldn't, so that, yeah. Okay. But we'll see. I don't think there's much left, but.
Right. I really appreciate your work on this, Alderwoman. I know that you worked closely on the executive order with the mayor's office, and that's how we ended up with this language. So I think you're doing a really nice job. I look forward to supporting this resolution.
Okay, yeah. And it did pass. So, but I did read something that even if these regulations or even if they do these regulations, it might not even affect the one that they might build over here. So like, I don't even know. Like, all of this is just so messed up, honestly. But I just really wanted to talk about that because it was on my mind and it was bothering me and it made me really mad today. And yeah, is he the one trying to harass weed shops and corner stores? Is he? No, don't tell me he is. Wait, my alderman? No. Or is it the other one? Oh no, wait, I think that's a different one. Okay, good. I was like, oh no, no. Okay, sorry, nothing going on in the U.S. What, Donnie did not choke on a Big Mac yet? How disappointing. No, but did you see, we were talking about that earlier, but the AI video that he did, oh God, you should rewind that and watch it back if you haven't. It's hilarious. Oh, that huge pipeline story that was rerouted miles around some rich guy's property. All I want for Christmas is regulations. Well, I just think it's crazy that we have to do all of this just to be like, hey, we shouldn't just trust what this company says. We should probably monitor them and regulate them. Like, maybe we shouldn't just trust what they say. I don't know. I mean, God. Okay. Well, that was fun. So, just pay attention because this is going to happen everywhere. And then, you know what? The other thing that they're building here in St. Louis is a Israeli chemical company. So an Israeli owned like chemical company is actually being built here as well. All in the name of growth and capitalism, I guess, while it gets everybody around it sick. But sure, growth. Growth for who? Growth for who exactly? Okay, so now we're going to do something fun because today's been a lot. Life is a lot. And there's a really funny video out right now about Ethan Klein. And we know how much I hate Ethan Klein. And I think this video is like perfect timing because it came out like yesterday or whatever, and it's as all of his, it's funny because all of his commenters, all of his stans, anytime I make a video about Ethan Klein, they lose their shit, okay? And they all say the same thing. They all come in my comments. They act just like conservatives in my comments. It's hilarious. And this, even though it's animated and even though it's satire and even though it's funny, it really does a good job of like summing up what Ethan has done and said, and showing how just like truly hypocritical he is. And so I'm so excited to watch this because it's so fun. The docking joke again, LOL. I didn't know what that was until I watched this video, and it's honestly insane. It's honestly insane. So we're going to watch that right now, and I'm very excited. I've only seen it once, so I haven't seen it as many times, but it's pretty good. Okay, I knew there was going to be an ad. But it's pretty good. It's not pretty good. It's amazing. I love it. It's hilarious. Okay, we're going to start this over. All right, let's go. I switched it over, right? Okay, yeah, and then let me move the camera over a bit. Or wait, sorry. What am I doing? I don't know. Okay, there we go. All right. To get an ad blocker. Yeah, I need to do that. Okay, I'll put that on my to-do list. I need to get an ad blocker. Okay.
Yes, we are being sued for copyright infringement. And it's been hanging over our lives like a cloud these past months.
Yeah.
We are being sued by Bold Guy, aka Matt Haas Zone.
Okay, so this is when he was first getting sued. So Ethan was sued for his for his defamation or his speech or whatever. And I like that they're putting this in there as like the lore. But anyway, I'll shut up. We'll watch it. I'll shut up. I need to shut up. Okay.
We did our thing and we made a reaction video about him on our second channel, Ethan and Eli. And I think the heart and soul of this is like that he doesn't like that we made fun of him, and so he's suing us.
Wow, Ethan, great moves. Keep it up. Proud of you.
The legend of Ethan Klein. Okay.
Oh, hi there. It's me, your old friend, Ethan Klein. It's been a while since we've last spoken. In that time, I've had 3 kids, all boys. I've lost 100.
I love how he's just like redoing this. Oh my god, it's so funny. Her alien eyes, her eyes looked so crazy. Listen, I'm not a fan of Ela. Her eyes looked so insane. It was funny.
Pounds, and I've pissed off 75% of the internet. Probably a lot of you guys too. I started a show a couple of years ago with my acquaintance, Hassan Piker, the Leftovers podcast, which we...
Hassan Barker? Sorry. It's just reminded me of R.M. Brown. Hassan Barker? Okay, anyway.
Made broadly to goof on the antics of the right. And we went on making the show for about 2 years. And
Hassan shirts says make the rich pay or tax or whatever, and then Ethan shirts says I like being rich. I didn't notice that at first. I didn't notice that the first time I watched this. Okay, that's hilarious.
Everything was good. Everyone was having fun.
Oh, yeah,
the audience was having fun. No problem. That was until this happened. From the river to the sea essentially means the state of Israel is...
They made Hassan's head so small. It's so small. Oh, man.
Going bye-bye. And over time, I started to learn that my co-host, he really likes terrorists. I started to wonder if I had any idea who this guy actually is. And then I had a terrifying vision. Had I been duped? Was Hassan presenting a Trojan horse to my community, where he was just a left-leaning Democrat like myself, and as he said in the previous video, was funneling them into radicalization and turning them against me?
Liberals are some of the easiest to manipulate people on the fucking planet, dude.
I learned how much he hates liberals.
Dude, I hate liberals, dude. I hate them. I hate them so viciously.
Did he secretly despise me this whole time?
I'm sorry.
I really like this part because it's so funny. And I feel like it shows, like, I think this video just truly encapsulates how deranged Ethan has become. And it's wonderful. It's just, it's wonderful. Okay.
Dude, I hate liberals so much.
Did this man sit next to me for 2 years and pretend to be my friend? What else is someone this sociopathic capable of?
Liberals are some of the easiest to manipulate people on the fucking planet.
Was I being manipulated this whole time? Hello everybody, this is Ethan Klein, host of the H3 show. Alright, so obviously I'm about to have a really uncomfortable conversation about Hassan. And, you know, I wanted to do a really fun episode about Twilight today, but blame it on the anti-Semites. The openness and brazenness with anti-Semitism has left me no choice. I have no choice. But I'm hallucinating, according to Hassan. Well, let's see if I'm hallucinating. The big story breaking right now is that since October 7th, which has blocked the entire country of Israel from making new accounts, secretly, silently.
No, apparently that wasn't true. Also, I watched Hassan watch this, and it's really funny because I guess he didn't realize how much Ethan was talking about him on his show, and he didn't realize all the insane shit that he had said about him. And I think that's so funny because this whole time, like, Ethan's trying to rewrite the narrative now, and he's trying to be like, no, Hassan is obsessed with me. Hassan is actually obsessed with me. He needs to stop talking about me. And I'm like, bro, for like 2 years, you have been obsessed with this man, okay? There are things, like, people in the chat were telling Hassan that you were saying these crazy things. He was like, I don't care. And now he's watching this back and he's like, I didn't even realize he said all that. No, he's crazy. He said a lot of insane shit. Like, and that's why I'm so happy someone made this. I am so happy someone made this because this needed to be made. Like, this needed to be made. Just like a perfect encapsulation of how insane Ethan has become. And like how this is so unhealthy for him. Like, I really do like this because it really does show, like, it like shows him getting like increasingly more like unhealthy. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
No statement, no explanation, has blocked an entire fucking country. How does that happen? The word Israel is considered a invalid word when you're trying to make an account. User from Israel.
You know what?
But hold on. Before you answer.
Yeah.
But why does then both Palestine and Hamas are acceptable? This guy's name is I Love Hamas 123, that word. Yeah, well apparently that's dope. In his song, it's by Hassan, and in his community, I Love Hamas 123 is just another member of his community. I'm being real. It's just way too many coincidences. Hassan is on the homepage of that website every time I go there.
He's the most viewed live streamer live right now.
Yeah, because they keep putting him at the top fucking page every day.
Yeah, but yeah.
And what's crazy is there's nobody on the entire platform to call him out. Nobody. They've all been banned. Nobody. There's not a single dissenting voice with his fucking straight up radical, anti-American, anti-Semitic, fucking pro-China, pro-Russia, pro-terrorism takes. This is fringe, psychotic shit that is not normal. And it is...
Okay, I'm sorry. I know this is like a good moment, but I just think this is so funny. His pro-China takes. Oh my god, that's why I don't consider I don't consider Ethan left wing at all, but I also think it's really funny that he's doing like the China anti-American. He's anti-American. He's pro-China. Like, he's just using like these buzzwords, like these conservative buzzwords to be like, aren't you gonna get riled up? Aren't you gonna get upset? And it's actually really like saying he loves terrorism and is a terrorist and all this stuff is like really racist, but and Islamophobic, but. It's just so funny, the whole anti-China stuff. I remember there was that video of the girl who lives in China. There's this video of a girl who lives in China, and she said how much she pays for rent, and I think it was like $900, maybe not even $900, and that like her job paid some of her rent too. And I sat there and I wanted to cry. Like I wanted to cry, and I wanted to like I was on the verge of like a meltdown. I was like, you gotta be kidding me right now. This girl was like, yeah, they pay for my transit. I get transit, and then I get this, and it was a big apartment. And I was like, wow, you know, when you see how other people in other countries live, it's very disappointing. It's like so disheartening. You're just like, wow, people really are out here living better lives. I wonder what that's like. So to be like, he's pro-China is really funny right now, honestly.
The only acceptable voice on Twitch. Explain that to me. How is there not one dissenting voice on that entire platform?
Also, Asmongold is a dissenting voice, and he's actually the most watched person on Twitch now. So none of this is true.
Snails are kind of doing the thing that people meme about, like docking penises, basically.
I don't know what that means.
Docking, when two guys get together and like one has a circumcised penis and the other one doesn't, and then the non-circumcised penis you like put into the circumcised penis, basically. Like you unfold the uncircumcised part of the penis. Like,
I'm worried I'm gonna get like an age restriction or something because of this. Jesus Christ.
like the tip. And then you put the circumcised penis in it like this, like a spaceship docking.
And they just touch? It's not like...
It's kind of like that.
Is that sexual or is that just a joke?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know either. That's insane. I mean, more power to you. I don't care. It's just funny. I never heard of it before I watched this.
I don't think that it's like that at all.
This is Nazi shit! S-tier race? Are you fucking kidding me? And they're trying to run defense. Hassan and all these fucking people are running defense for this shit. I have spent every waking moment on this project.
Except for when you take care of your kids, right?
I don't think Hassan knows what's coming. I feel it might be one of the best takedown videos of all time. It's coming together, but I've never been faced with such a daunting task. I find myself overwhelmed with the quantity of footage, and I've tried everything to avoid
7, 6,
launching this nuclear
5,
bomb.
4.
But Hassan has
3,
continually provoked
2,
me
1,
and forced my hand.
Are you going to be watching Ethan's content nuke? The answer is, of course not.
The title of the show is Hassan and Goons Are Evil, Cowardly Liars. Now, I, once again, am looking to not, to move on past it. Yeah, I'm just going to get into the Hassan stuff. This is the result of Hassan's activism.
This is why I love this. This is why I love this. This is like, oh my God. I love this so much. I actually this is, it's like drugs to me. Because for so long, I've been talking about Ethan for so long. And every time, there's always someone in my comments like, no, it's you who are obsessed. You're obsessed with Ethan. Hassan's obsessed with Ethan. You support terrorism. And watching this is just so comforting because it's like, no, objectively, he's crazy. Objectively, he's being a bully. Objectively, he has driven himself insane. Like, objectively, okay? This is not healthy. This is not healthy. Oh, this is not healthy, okay? It's not, all right? And, I understand my relationship with being online and online politics is probably not the most healthy thing either, but, this type of stuff where you are just every single day talking about someone, every single day, you are obsessed with everything to your detriment, to your downfall, to the point where you literally I don't know. It's just it's insane to the point where that's all you do. That's all you talk about. And that's it, where you literally sound like an insane person sitting here going, I really want to move away from this, but we're going to talk about the Hassan stuff. You don't want to move away from this. You don't. You manufactured all of this. You don't want to move away from this. You're still suing Dunhams and Caseytron. And Frogan, what are you saying? And he's being a bully to them too. And he's like reveling and trying to take all their money or making them poor or whatever, which is just disgusting. He's disgusting. He's a disgusting human being. And it's just nice. It's just nice to see all of this in one video, accumulated in one video. God. Okay, I want to look at I can't forget. I want to look at the comments after this.
Hassan Piker. Hassan. Propagandist, lying scumbag, terrorist. Hassan's the type of dude who watches himself in the mirror when he has sex. He probably sets up a mirror and jerks off watching himself.
I want to think about that, man.
Think about it.
Hassan dropped new merch today, guys. What a dumb, cringy fucking tryhard. Please, can we just all point, make a circle around him and point and laugh? Can we please just fucking point and laugh at him? And why is this, why do we allow this? This should be illegal and nobody cares. Somebody please. It's insanely pathetic.
I'm about to hit Celestial, Nate. Where you at?
Celestial?
Yeah.
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
That's what it's called, right? The one after Grandmaster?
Alright, where were we? I wanted to say Hassan is the human embodiment of the Che Guevara shirt sold at Hot Topic. He is that. Personified.
Were you thinking about that in the bathroom?
I did.
Yeah.
I would love to open the stream, but I think things are too contentious.
Oh my god. I like how it's like an actual disease too. Like it's like actually taking him over. It's like actually overcoming him. Like I really like that.
Whoa. It's a little catty and weird considering I feel like our conflict at this point runs so deep. But I'm gonna pull it up anyway. Fuck it. So
out of context would be to talk to me face to face instead of just watching me on a 30-second delay on your stream.
Wait, that's what wait. How does he know I'm watching?
I remember that day.
Nobody can wake up.
Oh no, it's Sam Cedar! Oh god. This is my favorite part. Oh no, it's Sam fucking Cedar!
This is no longer a dream, this is a nightmare. Wake up.
That is not anti-Semitism. The fact of the matter is this conflation is dangerous for Jews. It is a way of weaponizing anti-Semitism that has enabled Donald Trump to do the shit he's doing, that has enabled the slaughter of thousands upon thousands of children and women and men for that matter. And this type of conflation, Ethan, is what I find far more irresponsible, frankly.
Docking when two guys get together and like one has a circumcised penis.
It's like Sam Cedar's like his destroyer. Sam Cedar just destroys everyone. Just like don't have a debate with Sam Cedar because he will destroy you.
And I hope people bear in mind. Never forget, as this war rages on, just remember why I'm doing this. Because every one of you motherfuckers that I said I'm coming for, that I hold responsible, guess what? It's only a matter of time. I can't wait for videos crying, Ethan's suing me, Ethan's stalking me, Ethan's all this. Yup! I'm doing all that! the thing, Anissa and Ian. I just want you to know. I want you guys to know something. Look at me. This is me. I win, you lose. And you will continue to lose. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm not done. I'll never be done. I will never be done with you. That's how much you've betrayed me and how much I want you to know how much you lose and I win. Do you understand, Anissa? And I'm not even talking to iDubbbz anymore. He's insignificant. He's gone. I want you to understand something. I am never gonna be done.
Like, it's truly insane how vindictive he is. Like, it's truly insane how vindictive he is. It really is. Like, it is not worth this, man. It is not worth any of this. It is not worth this. Like, what are you doing? You're ruining your own reputation. You're ruining your own reputation. And everyone's looking at you like you're crazy because you are. And then the more you sit here and the more you try to like go after people and the more people lose interest, the crazier you get. And now he's trying to like rewrite history and go back to his funny days, which whatever. Okay, if he drops the lawsuits, then fine. But I mean, I don't think we should let him rewrite history and what he did and said. I think he should be held accountable for that. But people should remember that. But like, I do think he's created this own downfall for himself. He's done this to himself.
When you see this, you know that this one watch, is probably worth more than your entire worldly possessions. And that upsets you because you're jealous, you're bitter, you lost everything, and you look at me, you see me, because me and Ian were in the same place, right? We came from the same place. And look where I am, and look where you are. You, my friend, are a coward, and I am the fucking legend.
Yeah, that sounds like projection to me. Like when I first watched this, I was like, wow, he's really losing it. Because like I feel like this is projection, because he's sitting here and he's like, Ian and Anissa, like, I'm a legend, I'm amazing, I'm wonderful, look at you, what are you compared to me? You've lost everything. Look at me. Bro, you're losing a lot of your audience because of this. And I still don't understand how people can sit here and like defend him and defend all this shit. Like, objectively, even if he hadn't gone against, even if like he hadn't gone against creators I happen to really like, or if he wasn't so like if he wasn't pretending like he's pro-Palestine but not, even if he was just like a content creator that was making content, if he talked like this, I would also think he was a bad person as well. I would still think he's a bad person, because why are you talking to people like this? Why are you acting like you're just so much better than everybody else when you were literally having a live meltdown, like a live meltdown that everyone can see, and it just shit tons of projection. And it's just like, you're just not a good person. You're just like, you're sadistic. You're not a good person. Like you're very vindictive and you just want people to fail, and that makes you feel good. And it's weird.
Responded to it live with zero hesitation.
Is illegal ship shit?
By the way, Anissa reached out. She wants to meet at the Motel 6
we find out what this guy is, can we ship him shit?
Weinstein, Ryan Kavanaugh. This is a really good experiment. Actually, you know what?
It kind of looks like Harvey Weinstein.
That's what I've been saying, bro. We made a whole website dedicated to that. Wait, that's what I've been saying, bro. What I want to do is show you guys how I see Israel, because you don't see that. When you listen to Hassan and you hear all these fucking mega lefties talking about it like it's some super racist
mega lefties. Okay.
It's like crazy, like Jim Crow style of society. Like, I can't wait to show you guys how beautiful, how multicultural, how like free it feels for people, or just it's a beautiful place. There frankly are a lot of Palestinians, right, in the area, and once the Palestinians outnumber the Jews, basically anything is fair game for the Jews. Anything. They literally put fucking command centers under hospitals. That's not even debated.
Oh my God, I remember. Oh God, I'm so glad that they put that in there. I'm so glad that they put that in there because and I talked about this last time. I remember when he kept saying that Israel didn't bomb that hospital. He kept saying that. Now, has he talked about how Israel has bombed every single hospital in Gaza up until this point? No. And I wonder what he would say. I wonder what he would say if they were talking about it now. Would he just say, oh, well, there are command centers under every hospital? Under every hospital. So there can't even be one hospital that people can go to. Just disgusting. Also, I don't know why they're in bikinis, and I was very confused about that point, so I'm not really sure. But is it the whole like women boss, IDF woman boss thing that like Hila was doing? I don't know. I'm not sure what the bikinis are for, but I just thought that was funny.
900,000 Jews, approximately 700,000 to 900,000, were forced to become Zionists, not by choice, but because they were forced out. The vast majority went to it. They're fucking Arabs.
Arabs, yeah. Ethan's just racist. The legend of Ethan crying. Oh my God. Okay. That was really fun. I really enjoyed that. That was so fun. Okay, I'm gonna read what everyone said. Oh my God, that was so fun. Okay, wait, I have to scroll up. Oh man, okay. The docking joke again, LOL. It's so weird. Like, I really didn't know that was the thing. I don't want to say it's weird. I don't want to, it's not, whatever. I just never heard about it before. Yeah, I need to get an ad blocker. Still a bob. The shocked reaction. No, his somebody is big. His head is not small. 38-year-old. Wait, what? Who's a 38-year-old grooming victim? Oh, Ethan. Wait. That was actually really, really funny. Ethan being a 38-year-old grooming victim. Yes. No, that's hilarious because Ethan was like, did he trick me into who he was the whole time? I remember watching that video, the content nuke, for the first time, and I remember sitting there when he was saying that and being like, you've got to be kidding me right now, right? Like, you've got to be kidding me right now. You knew what he said. You knew who he was when you invited him on. They talked about the 9/11 joke and everything like that before they became podcast co-hosts, okay? He knew damn well and good who Hassan was and what he believed in all these things, right? Okay? So, like, to sit here and be like, did he just deceive me this whole entire time? Oh my gosh. It's just so insane. It's just so insane. And it's just so, I mean, of course he's like, it's so disingenuous, but there are people who believe him. Which is, to me, even more crazy. Okay, love the music. Amon is goated, but Ethan made this pretty easy to do. Yes. Amon has almost no subs. That is sad. I haven't seen any of his other videos. That was the first one, I think. Who's the one that does? Is it like Meet Something? Or I've watched a lot of those. We're in the mud for real. Night peeps. Good night. The speech of a day. My himbo, perfect comedic transition. It was a perfect comedic transition. Oh my God, it was hilarious. Think about it, man. What the F, oh Lord. Yeah, no, it's insane. Jank knows better. Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Oh, that would be my Super Bowl. Oh my God. Sam Cedar and Cenk Uygur talking is would be my Super Bowl. Do you know what's going to be really fun? And I'm actually really excited for is Janksgiving this year. I'm really excited and I think that's going to be really fun. And I'm definitely going to react to it because it's going to probably be insane. Like it's probably going to be insane. And I'm so ready. I'm so here for it. I feel bad for Hassan because like I know what it's like to have family members who are conservative and to like try to talk to them, and it's very frustrating. But so I feel bad for him that he has to like deal with that, but also like content wise it's gonna be great. Content wise, I'm really looking forward to it because I think it's gonna be really fun to watch. It's probably gonna make me really mad, but I would love for Sam and Cenk to talk, but Cenk, you're right. He's too smart for that. He's not gonna do that. Hila looks like the other mother from Coraline. She does. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Hila. Okay. It's good when the target is Crowder or Shapiro. Exactly. This is his legacy now. No going back. Exactly. Every criticism he makes is a production and confession. Yeah, that's why it's like when people are in my comments and are like, you're infighting, like that's literally what like people will say that to me when I talk about Ethan Klein. They'll be like, and Jank too, by the way. They'll be like, you're infighting. Why are you starting this infighting? Why are you infighting? I don't think calling out Ethan Klein is infighting. I don't think he's even, he tries to talk about politics, but I don't think he knows enough to talk about politics. And I'm not saying that I know everything, but like, I mean, this is like, I'm actually interested in politics and like history and stuff. And like, this is something I follow on my own time as well. And like, I watch all these documentaries on my own time as well. And I'm interested in as like, personally. And so I just don't think Ethan cares. Like, I think he's just doing it because it's what's it's what people are talking about right now. And so I think he's still trying to talk about politics, but recently now he's been trying to get more into goofs and gaffs again. But I just don't see it as infighting even anyway, because he's much more right-wing than people try to make him out to be, or that he says he is, same with Jank. But he has a Jar Jar Binks watch, so what do you know? Oh God, Max left. Yes, I need to get that hat. It's on a beach. Okay, and post it on social media of them doing it. I'll be watching that Janksgiving. Yes, Janksgiving is back. I don't know. I'm assuming it'll be back when it's Thanksgiving. I'm hoping. Hopefully. Let's hope. Let's all hope, because that would be a great day. Yay. Well, all right. I'm glad we ended it on a fun note. That is going to be my stream for today. Thank you so much for everyone who's here. If you want to join my membership, I'm sorry, I'm so bad at this. I need to come up with something and say it every time. If you want to join my membership, please join. I'm going to do videos every Saturday. I think the video I'm going to do for this Saturday is, I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I'll let you know. I'll post about it. But I'm going to do a video this Saturday. And I'm just going to, and I go live every Wednesday and Sunday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. That's what I was going to say. This Sunday, I'm actually probably going to go live a little bit earlier in the day because my friend invited me to this art show thing, which I think is going to be kind of fun. And so, I'm going to go to that. And so I'm probably going to do it earlier in the day. But yeah, I go live those days and I'm going to try to put clips up. Sorry, I haven't done it with my other streams. I've been cleaning my house because I am manic. But yeah, all right. Well, that's the video today. Too much personal stuff, I guess. That's the video today. And I will see you all on Sunday. And we're just going to yap some more. All right. Good night, everyone.